All right, welcome back to the party, everybody. I am your host, Lunch, aka the Indian Jesus, here to resurrect the second coming of common sense. Everybody hit that like and subscribe. You know I would do it for you. And let's party. Big shout out to the replay gang. Thank you so much for coming back to watch this, even though you missed the live party, guys. That is the best part. So make sure you're here every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern, and sometimes whenever I feel like it. So hit that subscribe, ring the bell, and you will never miss an Indian Jesus live party ever again. If you'd like to support the channel, head on over to TheIndianJesus.com for your very own official merch. Guys, we also do have a Discord server that is absolutely free to join 24/7. We are in there hanging out, a bunch of cool people and having awesome conversations and really doing the work of what this community is really about, building that community. Again, it is absolutely free to join. However, if you do scroll right below this video and hit that join button, we have a couple different levels, but it just starts at $2.99 a month. And that gets you not only members only live streams here on YouTube, but it gives you full access to that Discord server, including the after party voice chat. So as soon as we are done here, and every Monday, Wednesday, Friday stream, we go over there to an after party where we don't have to worry about the YouTube censors. We can say whatever we want, and you are not stuck behind your keyboard. You're actually on screen with me and everybody else. It's a good time. Come and join us. Shout out to Burner Popcorn account in the building. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Very familiar with Sheriff Grady Judd, who we will be discussing today. So if you're not familiar, he's been viral many times for the way that he does his press conferences. And as you can see in the thumbnail, they blurred out the lady's name, or I don't know if it's a lady. I don't know why I said that, but the person's name, and he'll legit be like, "This is the Grinch, and this person is also the Grinch," or something silly, and a great balance of levity. But hey, we are not messing around. If you commit crimes, you are going to get in trouble. So he was on PBD earlier today, and I caught a little bit of it, but it is just, I love this man so much, so much. And I am excited to get into it. Burner said Florida in the house, and Grady Judd is the GOAT. Absolute legend. I've had experience working with Polk County, which is Polk County, Florida is where he is from. And I think I've talked with Sheriff Judd on the phone. He's a very good guy and goes out of his way to help the media. Local TV stations in Tampa and Orlando have realized that anything with him will go viral on YouTube. So they've all been uploading raw press conferences and compilation videos. Yeah, so we all love Grady. He'd make himself available for interviews on evenings and weekends. We would get emails with a news release, what time to show up to get a scene video, and yeah, he loves the camera. So beautiful. Let's dive in, guys. As always, if you cannot hear the video, please do let me know. Really? They needed two intros.
So let me prepare.
All right, let's do it.
So let me prepare you for today's podcast. At the beginning, you're going to say, I'm sorry, who is Sheriff Judd? Why would he have a sheriff on the podcast? But you got to realize, I've been looking forward to this for a very long time. There's a lot of people I'll sit down with. I'm excited about this one. I'll tell you why. Go on YouTube and just type in Sheriff Judd, okay? I can't tell you how many videos he's got with millions of views on top of millions of views. This man, if he wanted to, he can stop being a sheriff and start a YouTube channel, be a Mr. Beast of Sheriffs. He could really do that if he wanted to. However, yeah, he's out of this.
And so I would assume that at some point they're going to show some video. Yeah, it looks like they're going to show some video of the press conferences that made him so famous. But if they don't, then we will definitely look that up. As always, guys, you know that the link to this, if you want to watch it without my commentary, it is in the description. So please don't cry about how much I talk. That's why I started a YouTube channel.
County called Polk County. It's right in the middle of Florida. And there are certain cities you can drop names, and it puts the fear of life in the criminal's, head. This is one of those. If you go and say, do anything, I'm going to call Sheriff Judd, they run away. That's what his reputation is. Let me give you a little bit about his background. So you kind of have an idea. In 1972, he becomes the dispatcher. He was under 20 years old. He needed his father's help to get ammunition because he was under 21. At 27, he becomes a captain, supervising 44 employees, of which every one of them were older than him. Later on, he becomes sheriff in 04, reelected in 08, 12, 16. I don't think he got reelected in 2020 because nobody opposed him. And then in 2020 or 2021, he was invited by the president to serve a 3-year term on coordinating council on juvenile justice and delinquency prevention. When I say president, I mean President Trump at the time.
Wow. So, yeah, Burner Popcorn is saying libs hate this dude, and you'll see why. Because again, he does not play around, and he's very open about this whole law and order thing. But he's not, he's not a mean guy, as we're about to see. He just cares about the law, as we all should. Yeah, the visuals and the props. It's so funny, so funny.
And he's been married since 1972. Which, by the way, when you think about this business, it's very, very hard to be married for 52 years. Go ask anybody that's a cop or a firefighter, or just ask them, see what that life looks like. It's very difficult. So, Sheriff Grady Judd, it's great to have you on the podcast.
It is my honor to be here today with you.
Trust me, the honor is mine, and I think the audience is going to, I think the best way to start off is to follow. Let's just play a clip, Rob, if you could.
That is the best way to start this. And I'm also very happy that this is a one-on-one, because I think Grady is Grady Judd is the type of person, again, from what I've seen. I've never seen him in long form, but I think it's way better if it's just the one-on-one. So they're already going to play the clip. So if you're not familiar, this is why he is so famous. Really quick, Burner said some of my lefty coworkers were really turned off to his rhetoric. I guess they're bleeding heart types who will defend the criminals. Yep.
And just to kind of give you an idea why, people respect this man as much as they do, this is going to give you a little bit of a glimpse on how he is when he deals with the media. Rob, if you had it, go ahead and play the clip.
But we have received information in social media that some of the criminals were going to take their criminal conduct into the neighborhoods. I would tell them, if you value your life, you probably shouldn't do that in Polk County.
Based.
Because the people of Polk County like guns. They have guns. I encourage them to own guns. And they're going to be in their homes tonight with their guns loaded. And if you try to break into their homes to steal, to set fires, I'm highly recommending they blow you back out of the house with their guns.
So that is who we're talking about. That was just level one. That was just level one. But the attitude that he has, where it's like, I'm not playing games. Obviously, I don't want anybody to be a vigilante. But if you are committing a crime, be prepared for the punishment.
So you say something like that, and you'll typically get some pushback from local media, right? In your mind, how do you process taking this kind of an approach?
Well, really, I don't get much pushback at all, because the overwhelming majority of the people of the community support me.
Even the media.
Now,
yeah, and that's what Burner was saying, that he'll make himself available for interviews on evenings and weekends. So, I mean, the people who don't like him are criminals and people who like and defend criminals.
Occasionally, someone will say something like, he shouldn't have said that. And I go, I don't care what you think. My job is to serve the people. And what's really interesting about that? When that occurred, I got millions of hits nationwide. And I would tell you over 99% of them, really over 99% of them were positive, because people understood that. In fact, about a month later, I had one of the Black Lives Matter bosses come to see me about another issue. They were concerned if I would help out on a murder investigation in another jurisdiction.
In Florida or outside of Florida? Okay.
And when they stood up to leave, and he was walking out of the door, he turned and said, "We heard your message the other day." I said, "Good. I'm glad you did." So the bottom line is,
stone cold.
I like peaceful protest. That's a mark of our society. But you get on social media and you say you're going to break into people's houses and take what you want, take yours. That's not working.
I mean, I got a lot of things I want to ask you about. I mean, you got squatter laws, you got stuff that's going on in New York and California, what happened with the assassination, the recent shooting that took place with Sonia Massey. I want to get your perspective on a lot of this stuff. But where does your conviction come from to speak like that? You got, I believe, what was the award that you got? What was it? The 2022 Faith Patriot faith-based patriot of the award. I mean, maybe I'm not getting it right. It was something like that I was given to you, right? So
Faith-based. No, I'm just kidding. Hey, guys, really big favor to me. If you could just hit that like button, it helps out so much. It's free and it's easy. Come on. Thank you.
there is an element of faith, but then there's the element of you crossed the line. I mean, you even had a story early on, right? When they took out one of your deputies and the K9, if I'm not mistaken, this could have been in 06. Williams was the gentleman's last name. And then the criminal came and shot him from the back, if I'm not mistaken, shot him 6 or 8 times.
I watched this story and then I was like, okay, good enough. This will work. So after this story, I have no idea. We are going to be watching this live together.
And then you guys shot this guy 68 times. And when the media asked you, why shoot him 68 times? Your answer was, we ran out of bullets. We would have shot him more. Where does that come from?
Well, it comes from the
We ran out of bullets. We would have shot him more. And I mean, I'm not in favor of just dumping rounds into people. But when you make that decision, F-A-F-O. No spamming here. As long as you are entertained and being entertained, I am happy to see it.
heart, and it comes from the soul, and it comes from what the overwhelming majority of the people are thinking. This guy shot and killed our canine. Shot and killed our canine handler.
Already right there. What? You killed the dog? You killed the dog.
Hell no.
I'd be ready to pump 68 rounds just myself in a video game. Burner Popcorn account says some stupid reporter tried to give him a hard time for not wearing a mask during COVID. Oh my God. That's the level. That's the level that they have to stoop to find something on somebody that they just disagree with, but hasn't done anything wrong. Well, you didn't wear a mask.
Loser.
Shut up.
This guy shot and killed our canine. Shot and killed our canine handler. Shot the backup deputy. Then took the dead canine handler's firearm, ran into the woods. City police came to back us up, shot at 2 of them and happened to miss them. Well, the next day, we had the area surrounded. The next morning, when we had daylight, we had a SWAT team walk shoulder to shoulder through this wooded area in order to find him.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he pointed the dead deputy's gun at a SWAT team. What do you think's going to happen?
Mm-hmm.
You're going to get shot a lot. You're going to get shot so much you can read the Sunday New York Times through you. And that's what happened.
68 times.
So 68 times. 68 times. That sounds like a lot, right?
68 times.
In your mind, you're not even flinching. We did it right. We should have done more.
Well, that's how quick it happens. And that happens in a matter of a second and a half. I mean, you're pointing a deputy's.
Yeah, they're showing an article. Accused of killing deputy. Suspect shot 68 times. A fugitive gunman accused of killing a Florida sheriff deputy was shot 68 times by a SWAT team officers who found him hiding in the woods, according to autopsy results. So yeah, we're saying 68, but now it's a SWAT team. So how many shots per person?
At a SWAT team. It's over.
The 68 is from how many people that shot him?
Oh, there was probably 8 or 10.
So he got shot up.
8 or 10. That's less than 7 bullets a person for a cop killer. Oh no, he got shot. Shut up. Barr said after he recounted that case about the that suspect, I looked it up. He was some international drug trafficker, not just your garden variety criminal. His family tried to make a fuss. The criminal's family got some civil rights attorney involved, and the FBI ended up investigating and found no wrongdoing on the part of the sheriff's office. Because again, yeah, that's not that many bullets for a situation like that when you put them all together. Yeah, but and of course, the headline doesn't mention how many people. It does say SWAT team, but it doesn't say how many people. And it's like, oh, this guy emptied 6 rounds. Maybe this guy emptied 9, and that guy 5. 5 rounds for a cop killer. This is the media manipulation. The media manipulation.
It's over.
The 68 is from how many people that shot him?
Oh, there was probably 8 or 10.
So he got shot up from a bunch of different angles, from a bunch of different people.
Sure did.
Okay, but going back to it, so in your mindset, like, you know, a lot of times when you go, I don't know if you're a football guy, I don't know if you're a sports guy, obviously you're a diehard hockey fan based on the conversation we had prior to this. That's a lot of sarcasm there. But if you're a football guy, you'll say, you know, well, you know, Bill Walsh is the guy that produced the most coaches, assistant coaches that went to the Super Bowl. He produced this guy and that guy and this guy. And Lombardi never produced anybody. Even though they call it the Lombardi trophy, Bill Walsh is the guy that built the most people. And that's who should be known as the greatest. And then you'll see certain habits when you work under somebody, right? I have a lot of my dad's traits. He's a hardworking guy, character tough, tells it the way it is, but I got it from him, so that my conviction comes from there. Where's your conviction coming from to be able to speak as confidently as you do?
Burner says, what a POS family. That dude was a dangerous criminal who deserved zero sympathy. I mean, I definitely understand, you know, regardless of what he did or didn't do, I understand why the family would you know, like I have sympathy for anybody who's going to lose a loved one, but going after the cops when it's very clear cut that your family member was in the wrong, again, I understand why that's sad for you, but ain't nobody did anything wrong except your boy.
Well, first and foremost, I've been in this business a long time, and I've watched what I call traditional police administration publicly fail time after time after time. It failed just the other day, and we'll probably talk about that. But the biggest failure is not being honest with the community and not shooting straight and not telling them exactly like it is.
Mm-hmm.
If my folks mess up, we dress up, fess up, and fix up.
Ooh, I like that. What is it? Dress up. If we mess up, we dress up, fess up, and fix it. This is what you want. This is the type of attitude that you want from your police officers. And so I cannot ever see myself being a back the blue type of person. But that doesn't mean that I'm not in favor of society running as it should be. That doesn't mean I'm not in favor of people following the laws, or at least the just laws, and having a strong desire to keep that the way it's supposed to be, where everybody is safe and following the law. Bunner said the suspect's family thought Grady Judd's comments at his press conference were insensitive. Oh, your murderer hurt him. Your murderer got his feelings hurt? Come on.
If my folks mess up, we dress up, fess up, and fix up. We admit it. We screwed this up. We'll fix it, and we'll fix it immediately. But I tell exactly what it is that's happening. If we have a shooting in the streets or a murder and there's a lot of police activity around, I don't say, well, excuse me, we're gathering the information and we're not sure exactly what happened. And as soon as we complete this investigation, we'll be back with you in 3 or 4 months. People don't want to hear that. That's crap.
Are you hinting at something?
That's baloney. Yeah,
well, you kind of are, though, right? That's
yeah.
kind of what you're saying. So,
I'll tell them straight up. I'll say, look, I'll start out the press conference.
Yeah.
It's on social media. They cut it out of mainstream media. I say, look, the information I give you today is brand new information.
Okay.
It's the best information that we know at this time.
Mm-hmm.
It's not only subject to change, it probably will change. But here's what we know at this early stage of the investigation. And I tell it all, brothers and sisters, I tell it all. And you know what?
Hallelujah.
Accept that. And then as the investigation goes along, I come back and modify it later. Because I'm not hiding anything. I have nothing to hide. We had an emergency here. We responded to the emergency. You know, they shot at us, we shot at them, or 2 people shot at each other, and we have somebody in custody.
Yeah, I mean, keep it 100. What else could we ask for? What else could you possibly ask for?
We always want to peacefully take everyone into custody so that we can take them into the criminal justice system. If we have to shoot someone or shoot at someone, we don't make that determination. They make us shoot them. That's not our determination. That's the bad guy's determination. But I say it publicly. And people understand the truth. What they don't understand is obfuscating, lying, standing up in front of the media after somebody has just shot at President Trump 2 or 3 days later and go, oh, I really don't know about that. We've got that under investigation.
Shots fired at Christopher Wray and Kim Cheadle. Burner said, not going to see a BLM or Antifa riot in Polk County. Yeah, I would. I bet you could be. I think you could bet on that. I think that's what I meant to say. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
2 or 3 days later and go, oh, I really don't know about that. We've got that under investigation. The whole world's thrown the BS flag on that. You know something you can tell us.
So let's go there. So
So yeah, of course, in case you didn't catch that, they're talking about the Trump assassination.
The assassination attempt. At this point, we've seen so many different clips, but another clip came out today. I'll show you this one as well. I don't know if you've seen this one that came out today with the cops walking around knowing minutes before, and then you hear the shooting. We heard ta-ta-ta, 3, then ta-ta-ta-ta-ta, to 5, and then the last bullet that we hear. Just open-ended question to you from having been in this space, 50-plus years you've been in this space. You've been serving since you were 1972. You're born March 10th, 1954. So you've been in this business for what, 51, 52 years, give or take?
Wow.
52 years last week.
52. Congratulations.
Thank you
for your service. Open-ended. What are your thoughts when you saw the assassination?
Is that The Rock? What is this Volt Conference 2024? All right, #1 event for entrepreneurs. If you're an entrepreneur, hit up PBD.
An attempt, Secret Service, them getting up, all the different stories coming out. What are your thoughts on it?
Well, first and foremost, you must understand that I have been the guy who told the SWAT team, you have the green light, shoot. So I have been the one that ordered people shot by a SWAT team.
Can you be specific? When was that? What was the
Oh my
situation?
goodness, it's been more than once. But one time a man went into a restaurant in Fort Meade and shot it's been 35 years ago. And he killed 1 or 2 people and shot a couple more. And then he took hostages. And then he shot at us after we got there.
But we need to be sensitive.
We tried to take him peacefully into custody. That's not what he wanted. So we shot him graveyard dead. That was his choice. So I've been there and done that. When I saw the very first television interview of the shooting of President Trump, I knew immediately they'd screwed it up. Because regardless of what else happened, regardless of the different media perspectives, and they were just talking to whoever, the mere fact that they didn't have someone on the roof of a building 148 yards to the lectern where the president's speaking is raw insanity. That's not just a failure. That's raw insanity.
And I love how they came up with this term of the Pac-Man, the Pac-Man perimeter, as if it's some established thing, instead of just, oops, we forgot about this part. Semantic obfuscation, exactly what he was just talking about this. He's getting good. All right, it's getting good.
There's also,
where's everybody else? Say hello. I see a bunch of you in here. Say hello.
A water tower that you don't have to be on that water tower as long as no one else is on it and you've got somebody at the base of the water tower. Now, as time goes on, there's failure after failure after failure after failure. But when you put political people in charge of professional law enforcement agencies, you get political decisions instead of professional law enforcement decisions. Well, I can tell you, wake up, America. The public doesn't want political decisions when it comes to saving lives.
Nope.
They want professional decisions, and that's what saves lives.
Unpack that.
And that goes to the what is the name of it? Where the bill they just passed, where the experts are the politicians are the ones who it'll come to me.
They want professional decisions, and that's what saves lives.
Unpack that if you could.
Well, first,
political decisions.
Political decisions is you've put somebody in charge of the Secret Service. They're a political appointment. Where did they come from? What was their background? Did they have the ability to do that?
Nobody.
Job. And the job is at that level. You're not going to go out there and train, but you're going to say, let me see the training curriculum. I know for a fact, following the rules, the Secret Service is well-versed, and I underscore, of doing the appropriate security on an event like that. So what happened that day? Where did the failure start? Well, first and foremost, it started at the very top when she started dancing around and not publicly saying, hey, listen, there's a full-throated investigation underway, and I can tell you, if I know nothing else, we've had mistakes occur because no one was on the roof securing it. And we, in our county, have worked with Secret Service over and over and over again. They're remarkably professional, and there's never been a time when we wouldn't have somebody on that roof.
Shout out to Stephen McCown, McCoon. I'm going to call you Stephen. I'm very bad at names. But welcome to the party. Good to see you. Better days indeed. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Remarkably professional. And there's never been a time when we wouldn't have somebody on that roof. So when you've got an appointed person that's the CEO, if you will, of the Secret Service, and they don't know exactly what's going on. I mean, when you have
that's the double punch of it. Not just that the failure occurred, but then she just had no idea. I didn't watch the entire hearing, but just from some of the clips where she is just not giving any answers, and everybody left, right, and center, they're all like, "Hey, lady, like, how do you not know anything?" That in and of itself is enough to say that you caused this by not knowing why there wasn't somebody there. That means you didn't have the information to determine, or maybe there should be somebody there in the first place.
They don't know exactly what's going on. I mean, when you have the president of the United States, or the past president of the United States, or potentially the future president of the United States that you are providing security for, you have to make sure you've done everything exactly correct. And they didn't.
Okay, so October.
And again, not only was it not done correctly, but she doesn't know why, at what point, at where was the point of failure. She doesn't know anything at all. Shout out to our boy, the Funk Master General. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the party. No question, no comment, just pure love of the game. And of course, every donation comes with a treat for my co-host Morty. Thank you, thank you, thank you, sir. Of course, that makes you the new sponsor of the stream. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Always glad to see you, sir.
You've done everything exactly correct. And they didn't.
Okay, so
Funkmaster, you seen this guy before?
October 12, 2016.
When he likes Law and Order. Dun dun. He likes he doesn't like cops, but he does love SVU. But Law and Order is the way to go. But yeah, the keeping it a buck, seriously, just think about if 50%, just 50% of the cops were 50% as good as Sheriff Grady. What kind of world would we be, or our country, I guess, would we be living in? He's got to be in the top 5 cops in the nation. But the bottom is so bottom heavy that it's scary. It's scary. I mean, obviously, I don't know every cop in the nation, but we've all had our experiences, right?
Everything exactly correct. And they didn't.
Okay, so October 12, 2016, if I'm not mistaken, President Trump came and gave a speech in 2016 at Lakeland, which is 25 miles away from Polk County. Were you on that? Were you working on that event or no?
Lakeland is in our county.
So were you on that?
I personally wasn't, but our people would have.
Your people were. Okay,
Absolutely.
perfect. So 2016, he's coming in. He's not president yet, or was he president already? October? No, he was not president
He was
yet,
not
right?
president.
So he's campaigning, and that's October 12th. That's 2-3 weeks before. So it's like peak of intensity. Him and Hillary are going back and forth. So that's your county.
Yes.
You were not there. What is the protocol of Secret Service collaborating with local SWAT, local police department? How does that relationship work out?
My SWAT team was there.
Okay.
My detail was there. Whatever the Secret Service asked for, the Lakeland Police detail was there. We meet with Secret Service in advance. They send advance teams in.
Except on July 13th, they just did I don't know exactly where it was, but they got a bunch of the local PD from that day, and they're like, yeah, we had no contact with Secret Service at all until after the kill shot was fired. Kim Cheadle, why is that the case? Not only is that a failure, but Kim Cheadle not being able to say why that was the case is a second and arguably worse failure.
Detail was there. We meet with Secret Service in advance. They send advance teams in. The president, as we know, who was then running for president, met at the airport. So the Secret Service is in charge of all of that. And they tell us, okay, we'll take this position, you take this position. They go so far, and I was just talking about my SWAT commander who's been on some of these. Hey, if you're on this roof, don't take your rifle because we've got rifles over here and we don't want the crossfire with high-powered rifles. You use your handgun. So the Secret Service comes down to the training and the prep to tell you what kind of gun to have depending on your assignment in these particular areas.
So that's how specific these briefings are. That I don't know why I did that, but that's how specific these briefings are. And so with all of that information, all of those details of what you're supposed to be doing, what kind of gun you're supposed to have, where is your assignment, all of these things just didn't happen. Just did not happen. I mean, how can you excuse that? Shout out to Trey Williams. Welcome to the party. So, I mean, it could have been a false flag attack to rally against the left. Very, very possible indeed. We still, two weeks later, have very, very little information. It could be a lot of things, but I definitely would, not be surprised either way. Welcome to the party. Funkmaster said Kim Chi will probably move to Paraguay by now. Well, I mean, once she steps down, like, as long as we get somebody who's actually going to do the job, I mean, I don't need to see her tarred and feathered. Like, yes, you really messed up. You're really bad at your job, so you can't do it. That's it. And she wasn't willing to step down until, obviously the pressure mounted. But she's just not like, what kind of person, when both sides of the aisle, the entire country is asking for you to step down, demanding that you step down because of a very clear failure. And then again, when you're being asked to answer for that failure, you have no answers. But yet you say, I deserve this job. How do you get there? How do you get there? I don't get it. Shout out to TV Viewerski. Welcome to the party. I don't know what that word is. I'm not gonna say it because in case it's something weird, I'm not gonna say it. I've learned with you guys. But welcome to the party with Sheriff Grady Judd. If you're not familiar, let me know. We will pull up something to familiarize you with this guy.
Gun
he is the
one.
one.
Depending on your assignment in these particular areas.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm telling you, they're very good at that. So for that to be a total flop, you've got to say where.
I'm not saying I would be against it. I'm just saying I'm not advocating for it. If somebody wants to go down with the shame, and tar and feather that, I'm not going to stop it. And I'm definitely watching. I'll definitely enjoy it. I'm just saying that I don't personally feel the need to vote for them. But I would definitely like to see it. TV says related to the Trump time travel theory. What is it? I mean, I have to do a deep dive on that because, again, there's this guy, Matty Ice, on TikTok who's really, really deep into this. And he has like a whole playlist of the Trump time travel theory. And I just haven't had the time to go through it. But it's so interesting how much stuff matches up. What was the book called where it was Barron Trump and all that stuff? I forget the name of the book, but wild. All right, diving back in here.
For that to be a total flop, you've got to say, where did the problem begin? It always ends with the CEO. And why didn't she immediately fly there that day and start immediately taking control of that situation and getting answers? Why didn't she do that? The only one that can answer that is her. Mm-hmm. But what happened?
And so I'm actually going to star this comment because every single time there is a reasonable question where there should not be a question, I'm going to put, hey, maybe it's a false flag attack. Whether, whether it was specifically somebody trying to give Trump more support, that's also a false flag attack. Or if it was supposed to be something that, was to literally get rid of him, which does seem like the case. False flag is a false flag. Shout out to Guam Tech. Welcome to the party. Good to see ya. Yeah. Again, I did. If you guys are not familiar with this guy, let me know. I do have a one of the press conferences pulled up. We could take a little detour if you're not familiar, because it's some good stuff. Funkmaster said, "Just laughter, no shame. That's always lame." Fair enough. Fair enough. Meet in the middle.
Why didn't she do that? The only one that can answer that is her. But what happens in traditional police environment, the first thing they do is find a hole to dive in. And while they're diving in the hole, they think, well, who all can I blame this on?
Mm-hmm.
Well, the reality of it is that doesn't work. No one is perfect.
Well, I'm gonna disagree with him. It doesn't work in the sense that, like, if you messed up, then it's going to be like, okay, well, it's that person. And everybody goes, oh, it's that person. But by having these very vague answers, well, I'd have to get back to you. I'm going to check with my people. I'm not exactly sure about the information, but I would like that kind of stuff. It really does go a long way to not have the clips, the sound bites of you admitting to doing this wrong and that wrong and that wrong and that wrong. So as bad as it looks, in the eyes of the general public, it's just that much better than actually admitting to doing things wrong, and that's the way to go. Let's do that. Why not? I just searched press conference, but you got a specific one. Let's see. Pika. Oh Jesus. All right.
Then there's Pikachu. No, we didn't arrest him. But Pikachu, you see, is a co-conspirator, not a willing co-conspirator. Because the next guy that I'm going to introduce you to, as he's grooming this child, makes the statement, we want to cuddle with Pikachu and have sex in the back of the car.
Hey, yo! Again, if you're not familiar, this is the type of thing that Grady Judd does all the time, which is why he is so beloved, especially in Polk County.
Want to cuddle with Pikachu and have sex in the back of the car.
Hurrah!
Did you hear what I said? Well, I talked to Pikachu. He confessed. He turned state's evidence and said, dude, I had nothing to do with this pervert. He just bought me off the shelf someplace. Pikachu doesn't like this.
Why don't you have a seat right over here? Burns said, I swear, every week he announces another Disney employee arrested for something creepy. Surprised? Not really. He's very passionate about advocating and protecting children, which, these days is a very prevalent issue.
If you play Pokemon or you're familiar with that, it's something like gotta catch them all.
Gotta catch them all.
Well, our detectives from the sheriff's office and the police departments, I don't know that we caught them all, but we caught a bunch of them, didn't we? Yes, we did. Who's our guy who wants to cuddle with Pikachu and have sex with children? Theodore E. Jones, 28 years of age. He's either from Kissimmee or Satellite Beach. We found addresses for each. He's a chef at the Hangar in Disney Springs. That's where we found him. Our detectives were able to run him down, and he was there. And he had old Pikachu in the car.
Oh,
that's right. He wanted to told us what he thought was a 13-year-old child.
Oh, 13. I mean, okay, like it's not like 16 would be better. I think this is a fair statement. If you're going after a 13-year-old child, well, I don't think that going after a 16-year-old child is better. Going after a 13-year-old is absolutely worse. I don't even know if that makes sense, but you know what I mean. Again, guys, if you hit that like button, that would help me out so much. Thank you. Where are we at? Glomtech, talking about Trump, said even if it was a false flag in favor of Trump, what does that say about the public, that the public was so willing to go along with it? I feel like it says that people are just fed up and don't trust the government anymore. Yup. This Pikachu suspect was next level weird looking, and Pikachu is innocent. Steven, I'm not really sure what you're saying, so I'm not ignoring you. I'm just not really sure what all of this is. But hey, do you? As long as you're not breaking any rules, then say what you like.
that he wanted to have sex with her for the first time.
Haram!
And that when they finished, he wanted to keep her panties.
Haram!
And he didn't come to the undercover location, so we went to him. We had to rescue Pikachu from that nasty environment. But more importantly, we had to find children who he was seeking. And he was seeking them once again on social media sites. He was using his computer. He was transmitting nude photographs of himself. That's right. To what he believed to be a 13-year-old child.
Haram!
He said very nasty things to this 13-year-old child to go along with the very ugly, vile, nude
Haram!
photographs that he sent.
Haram. Haram. Haram.
So, you want evidence that he had Pikachu? There he is. Hugging her.
Oh.
Pikachu said, I didn't like the dude from the beginning.
Ooh, that is rough. Pikachu indeed is innocent. Shout out to Dameris. Welcome to the party. Good to see ya. Good to see ya. Alright, so Pikachu looks pretty jazzed and ready to party. I mean, it's Pikachu, right? Pika gonna Pika. Just not like that. Yeah, Pikachu, not like that. Not like this. Not like this. So yes, if you haven't seen, that is the type of press conference that got this guy famous and beloved.
Of it is, that doesn't work.
Wait, what doesn't work?
This on.
Oh yeah. They're going digging a hole to find somebody else to blame, and I was saying that these vague answers, that as bad as it looks, to be like, oh my God, why didn't you prepare? Because the real answers are worse. The truth is worse, and so this is it's akin to when Prince Andrew did that Epstein interview with I think it was Barbara Walters or whoever it was, and it just made him look so bad. It's like, bro, if we weren't sure you were guilty, we're definitely sure you're guilty now. But because he didn't specifically say anything, then when's the last time you actually thought about that interview?
Dive in. And while they're diving in the hole, they think, well, who all can I blame this on? Well, the reality of it is that doesn't work. No one is perfect. No matter how well that protocol went that day, something can go bad.
True.
People understand when you take responsibility.
Right. And so again, that's why it's a two-pronged failure. The fact that it happened and the fact that you have no fucking clue. That's exactly what he's saying. Hey, shit happens. But be honest, be upfront, and take responsibility. Then we can have a reason to believe, okay, things happen, but maybe it's not, or it's not going to happen again. Which is, I don't know. It's the local PD's fault. And the local PD's like, yo, we didn't even talk to them at all until after. When Chef Grady's just the day before, they're supposed to tell you what kind of gun to use, exactly where your assignment is, all that stuff, and silence. Why, Kim Cheadle?
Stupid. So bad. People understand when you take responsibility and you make immediate improvements, or when you mess something up, say, we messed this up. And we didn't see any of that in the beginning because that's not how the federal government operates.
Okay, so you're saying when the Secret Service comes, they'll have a communication with the local police department and SWAT. And at the time, the director of Secret Service in 2016 was Joseph Clancy, who was appointed by Obama, I believe. So it's not like he's
thanks, Obama,
a conservative guy that was appointed, but he stayed on from Trump as well a little bit, and then he replaced him. This is what the local SWAT team just said when they were interviewed by ABC, Sheriff Judd, and they asked him, did the Secret Service reach out to speak to you, SWAT? Here's the answer they gave. And again, this isn't Fox News. This is ABC. Go for it.
We were supposed to get a face.
Yeah, okay. This was exactly what I was talking about. This is exactly what I was talking about. I saw this somewhere else. It was ABC. Local SWAT team speaks out after Trump sassy nation.
Here's the answer they gave. And again, this isn't Fox News. This is ABC. Go for it.
We were supposed to get a face-to-face briefing with the Secret Service snipers whenever they arrived, and that never happened. So I think that was probably a pivotal point where I started thinking things were wrong, because That never happened, and we had no communication with the Secret Service.
You had no communication with the Secret Service at all on that Saturday?
Not until after the shooting.
And by then?
It was too late.
Too
How do
late.
you process this?
Too
That's
late.
a failure with a capital F.
Greg? What? This is Sheriff Grady. I don't understand the question. I don't know. Who is Greg? Are you talking about up here? I don't know any of these.
How do you process this?
That's a failure with a capital F. And
Yup.
here's what I know. Our team does prep in advance. And our team is simply the very best. Secret Service is the very best. I've never been involved with a Secret Service and a Secret Service operation that we didn't have conversations down to the absolute minutia.
Can you be specific with that?
Well, exactly. Like which guns do you carry for this particular assignment? Okay, the feds have one radio system. We have a different radio system.
So Greg was the name of one of the SWAT officers that originally took a picture of Crooks, and then how long before the firing was that? Yeah, apparently I have questions too. There's a lot of questions on the table.
Okay, the feds have one radio system. We have a different radio system. We have a radio system that statewide and local, all our local agencies can talk.
Mm-hmm.
But if the feds have a separate system, then we marry our locals with the feds. So we always have Fed communications, and they always have our communications every time, all the time.
Except on July 13th.
That's why this stuff that I'm watching on television, it's like, wait a minute. We couldn't have all brought our favorite 2 bottles of wine and made up this horror story with pencil and paper if we wanted to create the worst nightmare. So I don't understand all of that, because we always communicate with Secret Service. It's a mandate. And in my organization, if Secret Service didn't talk to us like we know they should, that would bubble up to the top to me. I'd pick the phone up and I'd call the big bosses at Secret Service and go, what the heck? But we've never had that conversation.
So that also then does give some lesser blame, if you want to say that, on whoever would be the Grady, the sheriff equivalent of that SWAT team. Why weren't they saying, "Hey, the president is here. We should be in contact with you guys"? Silence.
We've never had to have that conversation.
So you're putting a little bit of the onus on Butler as well. You're not just putting it on Secret Service.
Every one of them. I'm putting it on all of them. The state police, the county police, the city police, and the Secret Service. If they weren't all talking together, they all had a responsibility. Now, I'll tell you, Butler is a little bitty place. They may not know how all this works.
Got it.
The big guys come in and tell them, you do this, you do that. They do what they're told.
Fair. So even if there was some responsibility to understand, hey, you didn't do this, that's not necessarily something that you can assume that's their responsibility. And so while, yes, it should have been somebody at the top of the SWAT team being like, hey, we need to know what's going on here. That's not their responsibility. And so while that could have, saved the day, and shout out to Corey. I always forget how to say the last name. Is it Comparte or the fireman who lost his life? He might still be alive, but that's still on the Secret Service.
But did they? I can't answer that question. But that's why I'm shocked, because the Secret Service, I know, is very professional and does an outstanding job.
Except when they're going to get hookers and blow, right? That was only a few years ago.
So when you say Butler's a little city, it's literally 13,000 people living there. That's just, Rob just pulled it up right there. It's showing 13,000 people living there. But a clip came out this morning. I'm watching this. Cops are running around like confused, right? I don't know if you saw this clip. Cops are running around confused. And you're watching this saying, wait a minute, the guy's up there. Why aren't you guys doing anything about it? As the sheriff of Polk County.
Yeah, from the moment you see something, hey, we're not sure. That should be, get the president off the stage. Full stop.
Celebrating 52 years last week who has had his team,
52
Lakeland, which is in Polk County, deal with the 2016 Trump campaign when he was only an entrepreneur. He wasn't a president yet. Today, he's a former president, and he draws a bigger audience than he did back then. If you were in charge of this operation here, how differently would you have handled it? If I can get your attention on this video, Rob, please play this clip.
Steven said, Secret Service, obnoxious, rich bastard service. You ain't wrong. You ain't wrong. All right, so it says time frame is 6:10 to 6:15 p.m. directly in front of the AGR building, in front of the sniper's nest on the roof. And then just some other, it says it's a cell phone video. So you can hear Trump in the background. You can hear Trump in the background. For whoever took this video, you're already aware, hey, something weird is going on. So that already there should be a call. We see a cop right here. There's all these cars back here. And then, you know, the person with the camera said, there's someone on the building right now. Then there's another cop, and they know something is weird.
There's something going on in this building.
I'm here with you fighting like hell to get a senator elected and to make sure.
Oh my God.
There's
somebody in this building.
What are we doing?
And it's not easy because we have millions and millions of people in our country that you.
Okay, so this guy's backing up, and then he stops and starts walking forward. So he looks. It looks like he's backing up, sees sees crooks on the roof, and then calls it in. Right? Why? Gonzaga said, did you see the clip of the pew-pewer on the roof running around? They should have been able to see him they should have been able to see him well in advance. Well, they did. They did see him. They just didn't do anything. I did not see that clip. If you have it, we could definitely pull it up. But yeah, they did see him in advance. They just didn't say anything. And the question is why? Right there again, even if you have no comms, get on your cell phone, call 911. The dispatcher will be able to somehow find a way to get you in contact with the people that you need. But just strolling around, no running, 1 foot on the ground at all times.
Going for 2 minutes as you're hearing him give the speech. While cops are aware, they're running around. People are worried like
this
something's
guy
happening.
in the corner. Again, slowly strolling. Another cop. Oh, now we're moving. Let's go, Trump.
It's about to happen in a few seconds. This is now almost 2 minutes.
Yeah, almost 2 minutes have gone by.
It's about to happen.
Insane. All of this time.
People are panicking.
Make yourself small, bro. I don't know what's going on.
Why are just regular citizens doing more about this? Just tell the person next to you, hey, make yourself small, bro. That is more than the cops did to save the life of the president. I'm speechless.
Make yourself small, bro. I don't know what's going on.
Insane.
How many mistakes?
Insane. So Comtech was asking about this clip here and has dropped it for us. Let's see what we got.
All right, everybody, welcome back here to Live Now from Fox. We do have some new video that was obtained by Fox News Digital just moments before the Donald Trump shooting, and it's actually
hold on. Let me back this up so you guys can see.
was obtained by Fox News Digital just moments before the Donald Trump shooting. And it's actually video that was taken by one of the victims in this attack here. So we want to play that out for you here in full right now on Live Now from Fox. Again, this video from James Copenhagen, one of the victims critically wounded in the July 13th assassination attempt against former President Trump, shows a figure moving across the roof of the American Glass Research Building there, the AGR building, just minutes before the gunfire rang out at a Trump's rally in Butler, Pennsylvania.
So you want to tell me that this person just randomly standing there, which is further away from the snipers who are higher up and on the roof by, because remember, they have them on both sides, but there was, if you look at Trump's far shoulder that we can't see on the video right here, they're higher up and closer to where Crooks is in the red circle here. This person, James Copenhagen, able to see it clear as day. But you're a sniper. You're a sniper. You have a scope to make it bigger. You either... it's tough for me to even entertain the option that you didn't see it. It's tough for me to even entertain that option that you didn't see it. That doesn't make any sense. TV Bursky said, word is there was a cop that was to be stationed on the roof of Danger Slope. Greg was allegedly in the room behind it where he took the pic. The cop on the roof where Crooks was went home because it was too hot and sloped. There was another officer with Greg who went to the bathroom. Upon return, he forgot his key and Greg went downstairs to let him in. That is when Crooks got up on the roof. I mean, again, it is totally possible that there was just a cascade of failure after failure after failure after failure after failure, and it really was just some lone kid who got up there and did what he did. Probably not, though, right? Probably not. Shout out to M169. Welcome to the party. Very, very good to see ya. How you doing tonight? Yeah, that is insane. Insane. All right. So we just were watching the video of, all of them. Here, let's go. This video, seeing what's going on. 2 full minutes of this video.
How many mistakes out of protocol, proper training for an event where the president's coming to town? How many different mistakes and approach you see here?
All of them.
I haven't found anything right yet.
Okay.
It's all wrong. And I've heard that they had up to an hour and a half. That at some point they actually saw the guy take out a rangefinder.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
golf rangefinder.
A golf rangefinder.
Right.
At that moment in time, we'd run that guy down, and he would have been with us having a conversation till the president left. He would not have ever gotten on the roof. But if we didn't find him, if he got lost in a crowd, I didn't see a crowd there, wouldn't have made any difference. We would have been on the roof ahead of time. We'd have been on the roof when we started staging and prepping for that event.
But Sheriff Judd, did you not realize how hot it was? Did you not realize how sloped it was?
So there wouldn't have been an empty roof for him to get on. And I look at that and I'm mortified. I'm absolutely mortified. You saw police officers that didn't know what they were doing. Now, that police officer on the ground doesn't have a ladder, but did you see him calling for a ladder? Did you see him pulling a car up so he can climb up on the roof and get onto the roof of the building? Mm-hmm. Nobody reacted. It's mortifying, the entire event.
Okay, so question for you. You're a pretty straight up guy. I don't think you're going to be somebody that's going to sugarcoat it. So when you see something like this,
hang him.
I think you have 2 sons and 13 grandkids, if I'm not mistaken. Okay.
13 grandkids out of 2 children? Dang, getting busy.
Congratulations to you. I don't know how you turned 2 to 13, but that's fantastic.
Come on back when you're done, brother. Thank you so much for hanging out. You have a good one.
So when you have kids, one of the things they teach you is the gift of, not telling you the whole story, where you as a father has to sit there and be like, I think you're full of shit today. Oh, you know what? I actually believe him, right? You just kind of processing. Kids, we did it as well when we were kids. Some of us do it as adults, right?
Stricter the parents, the better the kids are at bullshitting.
And some of us who do it as adults, have heavy duty positions. Maybe some of us are called Kim Cheadle, Director of Secret Service, and we're professional liars. I'm just looking at the audience and giving a very, dry answer.
Stupid.
But you look at it and you're like, you did it on purpose. Like yesterday, my son and my daughter got into it, oldest son. He pulled her finger back. She was crying pretty hard. Moment I walked up, I did it. I shouldn't have done it. I messed up. Okay. Now, it makes it kind of tougher to kind of play with that versus, I didn't do it. I didn't touch her. I didn't do anything. I didn't do it. Okay.
And that, again, speaks to the two-pronged failure. Not just that it happened, but that you have no answers. It is your job to know. It is your job to know.
Do you look at this here, Sheriff, and do you say, look, this is purely lack of experience, lack of preparation, lack of leadership. It was just a screw up. These guys messed up. Or do you look at this and have any ounce or percentage or doubt to say, it is so bad that it makes me think about some of this was intentional?
It has to be. It has to be. There is no, it does not make sense. There would be so many just coincidental failures all happening at the same time in succession. That doesn't make sense. Buckmaster said, my job is not nearly as important as a Secret Service sniper, but tomorrow is going to be 91 degrees and I'll be on a very slopey roof. Well, hey, maybe they could use you. They could use you. Because, if that's nothing for you, then you're going right to the top of the Secret Service, bro. Hit them up.
Out to say, it is so bad that it makes me think about some of this was intentional.
I don't think it was intentional.
Okay.
And because here's what I know. Whether you're a conservative or a liberal, whether you're a Republican or a Democrat, as the sheriff, and everyone knows I'm a conservative and a Republican, I would give my life for a Democrat and a liberal president or someone running, because that's my job to protect them, because that's what we do in a democracy. We do what's right. We're not playing politics. It's not a political deal.
Democratic Republic, but
So do I think there was a quote conspiracy? Do I think there was?
Exactly. I'd rather have Buckmaster out there than these DEI fat chicks.
No, I think it was just absolute, total, sloppy, lazy police work.
You 100% believe it was sloppy. Now, you don't have an ounce or even 1%, 2%, 5%.
Not just a little bit.
Okay, so let me ask you this. How do you think?
No question in his mind that this was just a cascading failure. How do you get there?
Who do you think killed John F. Kennedy?
Who do I kill?
Who do you think killed John F. Kennedy?
We know who killed him.
Who killed him?
Do we though? I don't think so.
Who do I kill?
Who do you think killed John F. Kennedy?
Well, we know who killed him.
Who killed him?
Now you asked me his name. From
Lee
from
Harvey
the school book
Oswald.
tower, right? I do terrible with names.
Lee Harvey.
Lee Harvey Oswald.
So that's what you believe that's who killed John F. Kennedy.
So unfortunately, that loses a lot of not credibility, but a lot of what is it? There's something that like, oh yeah, well, we already know it was Lee Harvey Oswald. It wasn't a conspiracy at all. The cops are doing the right thing and they just messed up. I struggle trusting your judgment a little bit more after that. Omtech said, do we really think that the Secret Service wouldn't have access to some kind of mats that could be put down that would add friction and reduce the heat from the roof? How dumb do they think we are?
Stupid.
Very.
That's who shot and killed John F. Kennedy, Lee Harvey Oswald.
Okay. So in your mind, you don't go to, with the Zapruder, the other angle, or, CIA
magic
was involved,
bullet,
or the motivation Lyndon Johnson had because Lyndon and John F. Kennedy never got along, and John F. Kennedy had to go to Lyndon to become his VP because he needed the Texas money and the voters. And, you don't put any of it there yourself.
No, it just all happens exactly the way they said it. Yeah, right? It's something as simple as a goddamn yoga mat. They think you are stupid. They think we are all stupid.
No, I'm not saying that there wasn't some motivation behind someone for Lee Harvey Oswald. I don't think it was Vice President Johnson.
Why? I would follow that up with, okay, what makes you so confident? Because of the rest of everybody who is not the establishment, it's like, oh, I mean, maybe, but you seem pretty confident. Why is that?
What people have to understand, and well, they don't have to understand it. Some don't. There are just some flaming nuts in this world. Okay, they get ginned up over now social media. They get ginned up over traditional media.
Fuck Timu.
They're fanatics hard, radical right, or fanatics hard radical left, and they're just crazy. And they can be motivated by any different source.
Propaganda. Trump is Hitler, the threat to our democracy. Oh no! I mean, as much as I believe that there was some level of false flag here, that doesn't mean that I don't think that Crooks was somebody who wanted to go along with this. It does seem like he's like, hell yeah. Yeah. Free shit. If you get 7 million people to sign up and buy other shit as well. Mac Timu. I wasted what? 40 minutes. 40 minutes thinking I'm getting a new gimbal. I'm getting new stuff and all this bullshit. And Gontek's like, oh no, it's totally cool. It's totally cool. Is it though? Jack shit. They were trying to mess with my mind. They were trying to get me addicted. They know that I have an addictive mindset. And they didn't care. And neither did Guantek. How dare you? How dare you? Yeah, completely. It makes sense as a cop to have that mentality. It does seem like if you're in that position, if you're a politician, if you're really a government worker of any significance to the political landscape, I feel like you have to buy into it. Unless you're going to be a renegade and be like, I'm taking this down from the inside and fixing everything. I feel like you have to be bought in. Because if you're to believe that, knowing that you're a good cop, that everyone around you, maybe not everyone, but a lot of the people around you are maybe not corrupt, but certainly not as what's the word I'm looking for? They don't have the level of integrity. I don't know how you could trust. Like, there's a lot of trust that you need to put in these other people, and if you think that, like, oh, I can't trust him, so yeah, I think you kind of have to buy into it, to be, again, a cop in the FBI, CIA, if you're a high up in the federal government. I think it's something you have to convince yourself of. Otherwise, the cognitive dissonance is just going to drive you insane.
They can be motivated by any different source in order to kill or hurt somebody that's high profile, such as a president or a presidential candidate. Lee Harvey Oswald clearly shot and killed President Kennedy.
Did he though? No.
I've watched a lot of.
And again, am I saying it was not him? No. I'm just saying, how do you know? Why are you so confident?
Shot and kill President Kennedy. I've watched a lot of different work on that. And there's always the conspiracy theorist. But let's jump back to the shooting of President Trump. To suggest that we could get that many people involved in a successful conspiracy ahead of time.
Well, again, we don't need that many people. When you think of it, that implies that Biden himself was like, okay, we're going to do this. I'm going to tell this people and these people and those people and those people and those people. That's not necessary for something like this to occur. The fact that you can have somebody who independently doesn't like Trump, and hey, but what was the thing with like Greg and saying Greg talking about there's a cop that was to be stationed at the roof on the dangerous slope He was in the room. Where was it? Yeah. Just, oh, it's too hot. Like, okay, well, you don't go. I'll cover it. And like, well, I gotta go to the bathroom. So, and very few people can be used to do something like this. Hey, shout out to our boy Unwanted Foe. Welcome to the party. Good to see ya. As always, said Oswald was the fall guy. I think so. And of course, every donation comes with a treat for Morty, knocking the Funk Master General right out of that sponsor spot. Thank you so very, very much, sir. Greatly appreciated. And welcome.
Yes, that we could get that many people involved in a successful conspiracy ahead of time.
How many people?
Zero chance.
How many
This was-
people? How many people? Because again, if we're talking about 2 people, zero chance that you can get 2 people to conspire? Come on.
Just absolute, unequivocal, total sloppy police work by the cops.
You think we landed on the moon?
Yes, I believe we landed on the moon.
You think we landed on the moon? Okay.
Didn't occur in a warehouse.
Have you seen the recent movie Fly Me to the Moon?
No.
So we can, I mean, the credibility to be able to look at an official narrative and pick it apart. I don't even know if he has it. And again, like Burner said, tons of respect for him. But in this area of being able to spot something is wrong here, he ain't got it. Goldtex said, Crook's new internet name is Lee Tardy Oswald. I feel like it fits. I do too. Shout out to Elizabeth. Welcome to the party. Said it's so weird seeing a sheriff on a podcast. Yep, it is a little odd. But are you familiar with Sheriff Grady Judd? Because he's been out there. He's a different kind of sheriff. I mean, apparently not that different in the sense that he trusts the establishment way too much, but his attitude and his heart, I think, is a lot better than your average cop. But welcome to the party.
On the moon.
You think we landed on the moon? Okay.
Didn't occur in a warehouse.
Have you seen the recent movie Fly Me to the Moon?
No, I haven't seen
I
it.
highly recommend you watch it.
Yeah.
You know why I recommend you watch it?
What is that?
You tell you what the movie's about. The movie is about, like, literally what I'm about to tell you. It's filled with liberal actors and actresses, okay, who believe we landed on the moon, who show the story of the movie is that the CIA came and hired a lady to showcase in a warehouse to point, like, make it look exactly as if we're landing on the moon.
Let's read through this real quick. Fly Me to the Moon is a 2024 American rom-com drama by Greg Berlanti. Screenplay, The film stars ScarJo and Channing Tatum. Yo, I gotta see this just because of ScarJo. I love ScarJo, and I was almost about to give a Deadpool spoiler, but I didn't. The plot follows a relationship between a marketing specialist and the NASA launch director as they're tasked with creating a fictionalized version of the Apollo 11 mission in case the actual one is not successful. And this is my position. I don't necessarily, I'm not necessarily somebody who says, I don't think that we went to the moon. I think that it is very possible, or maybe not very possible. I think it's possible, but I think regardless of how possible or reasonable that is, for the establishment back in the 60s when there's no social media, for them to not have, like, okay, well, if this goes left, if this just explodes, we have to have something. We've built this up so much, and this is so crucial to the Cold War. This is so crucial to the space race that it does not make sense to me why they wouldn't create the fake footage. Is that the footage that was aired live? Probably. Does that mean that because we saw a fake video, or potentially saw a fake video, that what was depicted in the video didn't actually happen? No, that does not mean that. But as this movie is showing, I mean, it's not that crazy. In the same way that it's not that crazy to for any of these conspiracies to play out. It's not that you need everybody who would possibly be connected to know. We also understand that these 3-letter agencies are very segmented. So just because you're part of the FBI doesn't mean you know what everybody else in the FBI is doing. So again, just to be so confident, like, no, they told us this, so it must be this. Sketch. Guanzek said some people are just very material and no nonsense. He just doesn't seem like the kind of guy to enjoy a good conspiracy theory. I know a lot of police officers who are the same way. I think you're right. That just the notion to him is something along the lines of, this is stories that people want to concoct to make life more interesting, or something along those lines, where no nonsense. I think that's a good way to put it. But sadly, that is how we get here. It was like, no, I trust the government.
In a warehouse to make it look exactly as if we're landing on the moon. If we were to not land on the moon, we would have to show this part of the warehouse just to prove that we did it before Russia. And by the way, this is a movie based on a true story, is how they paint it. So it's to show, no, we definitely did land on the moon because we didn't need to use that footage because a black cat walked in. Just for shits and giggles, I think you need to watch it for your own, good actors are in it. Channing Tatum's in it, and Scarlett Johansson's in it, and both of them are very, very good actors.
All right, so it's in theaters now. So I think, guys, this is gonna be one of our Discord watch party movies. This is too good, too good a plot, too good actors not to do it. So if you are not in the Discord, if you are not a member, join up now.
Good actors are in it. Channing Tatum's in it, and Scarlett Johansson's in it, and both of them are very, very good actors. Why do you think, if you go back, you're 72, I'm 45. I was born in Iran, and
he looks good for 72.
I'm in America because of Jimmy Carter coming to Iran and saying Iran's the island of stability. Mess takes place.
Am I just getting older? Does he look really good for 72?
Coming to Iran and saying Iran's the island of stability. Mess takes place. He leaves. Khomeini comes in. It just happens to be timed with a 25-year renewal of an oil contract that Iran had with UK, US, and all these other places that expired in 79. Then you create that tension in the Middle East. Then you put in Khomeini that comes in from France. Then you get all these weird people to help him. Kissinger says, we're going to help you. Shah, don't worry about it. And then Kissinger pulls out, doesn't help him out. Iran falls. All these beautiful contracts comes in. Next thing you know, 1 million people die, 1 million to 1,000,025 people die after that because of a war, and you have to sell all these weapons.
But yeah, it's all exactly as they told us. Come on, Grady.
You know how many people right now sit there and listen to that story and like, yeah, you know what? It's kind of weird what happened. There's too many weird things that add up. You go to John F. Kennedy, too many things that add up. I'm not telling you I believe on what happened, but there's a part of me that's speculating right now. So first, again, to the community that believes it.
Yeah, right. I mean, I would have thought maybe 60, early 60s. But damn, shout out to and being a cop. Like, that shit'll age you, but shout out to him.
Not there 100%. I'm there 10 to 20%. I'm 80%. It was purely an accident and they screwed up. I'm a financial guy. As a financial advisor, 20-some years. All you're doing is you're managing risk. Yeah, well, buy this.
I didn't even graduate high school in 2007. I was still in high school.
20% chance we're going to lose it all. I'll take that risk. I'm only 45. Cool. I'm not taking 60% chance, but I'm playing with a certain amount of chips on the table. Okay. So first, you try to get him off the ballots. Colorado. Supreme Court says, nah, you're not going to do it. Cool. Then you put him in court all day long saying Mar-a-Lago's only worth $18 million. Then you say this lady he raped, that the lady later on tells Anderson Cooper, no, rape is not physical. It's a fantasy. He's like, what? You have to pay her $83 million. Then you have to pay court with all the banks and lenders you paid all the money to. Another $430, $450 million, whatever the dollar amount is.
It's almost like they're trying to bleed him dry so that he doesn't want to continue running for president. But that ship has sailed, friends. That ship has sailed.
Then the only day you can campaign is Wednesdays. Then they have a, where you can't speak. What do they call that? A
gag order.
Gag order. Yeah. Then after that, you do the debate. It's a shit show with the debate, right? They almost thought he wasn't going to do it. He agreed to do it because all the things they put against him, no audience, no this, no that, no this. Okay.
And still move that shit out the water. I mean, we could definitely say it's mostly on Biden for dropping the ball, but yeah, he killed Medicare because he beat it to death. I mean, come on.
Then this happens, and the support doesn't come and help you out, and Secret Service doesn't even show up, and she doesn't even come in, and you want the American people to sit there and think, and then Biden just comes out yesterday saying we have to put term limits on Supreme Court. I don't know if you saw that the whole time.
I guess it's getting better. It's getting better. Stick around for whatever the BS flag is. I don't know, but Burner Popcorn Count is very excited, and that makes me excited.
Term limits on Supreme Court. Then their fear is because Trump flipped 3 Supreme Court seats. That's insane to do it in one term. They're worried if he gets in, he could flip 2 more. If he flips 2 more, the conservatives could.
That would be. I don't even think that would be a good thing. I don't know. I don't even know if I personally would want. How many would it be then? 3, so be what, 5? Oh, so be 5, 4 then? Okay, that's not a big deal.
Could have the Supreme Court for 40 years, possibly 30 to 40. You know how scary that is for them.
So Biden proposes Supreme Court term limits, binding a code of conduct, and of course, we've also heard that they want to pack the courts. And so if you can't get within the 9, if they can't, the Democrats can't get the majority, then they'll just add more seats and create the majority. And of course, again, another thing that they said that Trump was going to do, and now we've heard again stories that Biden is going to be the one to do it. Wanted Vote said Colorado, Maine, Illinois, and California all tried removing him. He ain't going nowhere. He ain't going nowhere. Actually, I don't even know that. I am still very, 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 very scared that something's going to happen. Because again, I don't think this was the big thing. I think somebody like somebody lower down, but obviously with enough power. I think that's where this was concocted. I have no. I only have let's leave 1% chance that Joe Biden was aware of this before it happened. I think that's fair. Rufo said the legislative branch needs term limits more than the Supreme Court had. Okay, I was sorry. I had a stupid moment. I was like, bro, the Supreme Court is the legislative branch. What are you talking about?
Stupid
dummy. But yeah, you are right, sir. You are right. Burner Popcorn Account. Instead of Kamala wins, we are going to be the next Venezuela. Start prepping. Yup. Nothing seems real anymore. It really, I mean, ever since, the lockdown, it just seems like we are in an alternate timeline or, got shoved into a different universe or it's just day after day after day. And it's like, how can this get any more crazy? And then it gets more crazy. What's going to happen tomorrow?
More. The conservatives could have the Supreme Court for 40 years, possibly 30 to 40. You know how scary that is for them to be able to get back to Roe v. Wade? You don't think at all the motivation in today's times would be not necessarily to do anything about it, but kind of back up a little bit and not be too disciplined and intentional, or you may have been with somebody else. You don't think that at all?
No.
We're going to go back to that really quick. I want to shout out my boy, India Film. Welcome to the party. Always glad to see you, sir. So this is going to be the most fair and free election ever. Is it though? I mean, I hope so, but I do not have the faith that you do. I think it's going to be a little bit more like this than we hope. But I think this time around, seeing what happened, I think because of the fact that a lot of people on the right were not in favor of the mass mail-in ballots, then people just didn't do it. And because of the fact that, I'm parroting Tim Pool here, but just this is just one example of a situation where you have, we know that millennials and Zoomers are staying in their parents' house a lot longer than any other generation. So you could be anywhere from 18 to 30 plus and still be living with your parents. And they, the mail-in ballots come in the mail, and then mom or dad or whoever it is say, "Can you just sign that? We need you to sign this. We need you to do that." Somebody who otherwise may not have voted. Now, a lot of well, isn't that good? There's just more people voting. Well, no, it's not good. More is not always better. What we want is people to represent what people actually want. And just because you say you want something doesn't mean that you do. Especially with the level of propaganda, they make you believe that you want things that are in the complete opposite of what you want. That is how they got me to vote for Hillary Clinton in 2016. The most shameful thing I've ever done just came from watching the TV and listening to the people who I thought knew what was going on, who I thought were authorities, who I thought were right, who I thought I could trust. And so this time around, we have to, I mean, obviously not everybody can do this, but what you really should be doing, as soon as you get that mail-in ballot, fill it out, send it in. And then on election day, you go into the what do they call it? The not the polling place, but the voting center or whatever, and double check to make sure that they have your vote already. That is the only way to make sure that your vote is counted. And even still, I mean, at least it's in. Whether they're gonna count it is who knows. But it's so easy. It's so easy for them to just lose a mail-in ballot. And then, of course, on election day, there's so many people. Oh, one person gets lost, and what do you know? But if you at least take the redundancy, obviously, as Sheriff Grady is saying here, that despite the fact that there's so many redundancies, they all failed on July 13th. I don't necessarily believe that, but it is possible. And so with all of the ways that your vote can just be disappeared, you want to take every measure that you can to make sure your vote is counted. Funkmaster said, if you waited this long to start prepping, all I can say is thanks in advance for the food and ammo. Yeah, I'm gonna need to shack up with one of y'all. I don't have no guns. I don't have no ammo. I don't have no. Tell me why I was today years old when I realized that Walmart does delivery. I just didn't know. I don't eat a lot, so mostly I'm just getting like frozen dinners and then stuff to like throw in, make like a pasta bowl or a rice bowl or something. So I just go to Walmart because I don't need a lot of the fresh stuff in a grocery store. Not that Walmart doesn't have that stuff, but it's just easier and it's cheaper. And I was supposed to go food shopping today, and I just wasn't feeling it. And I just for whatever reason I just Googled it, and they're like, yeah, of course. And I'm like, oh shit. So right before the show, I got a delivery of food. So we gonna warm something up in the microwave as soon as this is done. And Burner, you are spot on. I need a wife to cook. I mean, I don't need a wife to cook dinner, but I would definitely enjoy a wife to cook dinner. I mean, I could cook. I could cook, baby. But I'm a hardworking man. All right. I need my dinner ready when I walk in the door. Every night. That'd be nice. I can't even imagine. I can't even imagine. But anyway, Baron Popcorn Count says Republicans need to start legal ballot harvesting everywhere. Nursing homes to frat houses. 100%. Shout out to Scott Pressler. If you're not following Scott Pressler on X, then definitely follow him. He is he just was talking with Vivek. He's very on the ballot harvesting boat. And the problem is, again, that in Democrat areas, typically the city centers, it's way easier to ballot harvest just because of proximity. You go in one building and there's thousands of people there. Whereas in a more rural or even suburban area, going house to house is going to take a lot longer, which is why we never did mail-in ballots in the first place, or the mass mail-in ballots in the first place. But here we are. One of us said, oh no, we lost one ballot. Guess I'll add these 50,000 backup Democrats ballot we had hidden here. It really is. It really is like that. Person, I don't like mail-in voting, but we have to use the same tactics as the Dems. Exactly. Yep, Elizabeth agrees. Shout out to Kevin Johnson. Welcome to the party. Another Jesus in the building. Welcome. Said, thank you, Indian Jesus, because now I see you're doing the same videos I'm watching. I know I'll be in good hands when I'm living under a rock that is law school. Don't stop the grind. Can't stop the grind. Never, never will. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so very much. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the party.
A little bit, not be too disciplined and intentional.
I want to hear this again.
30 to 40. You know how scary that is for them to be able to get back to Roe v. Wade?
So they're talking about we left off talking about packing the courts, or is Trump going to get a 5-4 majority and add more justices in his next term, assuming he wins.
You don't think at all the motivation in today's times would be not necessarily to do anything about it, but kind of back up a little bit and not be too disciplined and intentional, or you may have been with somebody else. You don't think that at all?
No.
I do not understand that question. I'm going to try one more time, and then I'm just going to chalk it up to I'm dumb. But
the Roe v. Wade.
So we want to roll it all back to Roe v. Wade. Okay.
You don't think at all the motivation in today's times would be
motivation for who?
Not necessarily to do anything about it.
Do anything about what?
But kind of back up a little bit, not be too disciplined and intentional, or you may have been with somebody else. You don't think that at all?
I have no idea what that means. Hang in there, Clarence. Hang in there, buddy.
No, I don't. Because to do that, you've got to have all of the Secret Service that's staff there on board. You've got to have the state police staff there on board. You've got to have the.
Do you really though? Maybe you just don't communicate with them though.
So if he's talking again, I didn't understand the question. If what he's saying is about the sassy nation, and Grady is saying no, you would have to have all these people involved to pull it off, which I think is what's happening, then he's just wrong. He's just wrong.
All of the Secret Service that's staff there on board. You've got to have the state police staff there on board. You've got to have.
Do you really though? Maybe you just don't communicate with them though. You sheriff, respectfully.
Well, but you've got to have the county sheriff and the city.
Why?
You can superimpose situations, but I just don't buy into conspiracy theorists because I've seen too many.
It's just called the conspiracy theory because it's not the official narrative. And so this going back to what Guamtech said about just being a very material and no nonsense. Again, especially if you're a cop, especially if you're not just a cop but you're a sheriff, I think there has to be some type of buy-in where, like, yes, I just believe it, and they tell I'm a cop and I'm an authority, so I tell the right things. I'm truthful, so everybody else must be, because if not, that changes his entire world, and cognitive dissonance will, it'll do some shit.
But I just don't buy into conspiracy theorists because I've seen too many slow pitches get fumbled like this before in my.
So I just don't believe that somebody would accidentally crash their car, because I've seen people almost get in accidents before, but they swerved at the last moment.
What?
That's the argument that you're making. So because things have been fumbled before, this could not be a just non-fumbling play, if we're going to use the football analogy. Wanted vote said they follow what they're told, not acting on common sense, as proven by the Trump assassination attempt. Indeed. Everyone said, wait, so this guy is saying that one shooter can get in by himself, but one person in security couldn't help them get in? Yes, that is exactly what he's saying. And when you put it like that, it really highlights kind of how silly that is. It's kind of silly to say that all of these people failed and this one guy could do exactly what he wanted, even though everybody knew what was going on and they had eyes on him, and they were supposed to be in contact with the local PD and Secret Service, and they weren't. Despite all of that, that was just failure. That was just sloppiness. But it couldn't be. It couldn't be that somebody actually acted with malice. Based on what, sir? Based on what? I've seen too many of these slow pitches be fumbled.
Too many slow pitches get fumbled like this before in my career.
What do you mean by that? Slow pitches get fumbled?
Well, you should be able
Yeah, you're mixing sports there.
to not slam it out of the park, and you whiff it every time. I've seen that over and over just by incompetence and laziness.
Right. So sometimes people fail at things. Sometimes people are successful at things. Which one do you think this is? I think this was someone being so close to successful that if that man did not turn his head, they would have been successful.
And you either had incompetence or laziness or a combination of that.
Or malice.
You could go on and, maybe it was fatigue. Maybe they're on their third, event in a row. And
Now we're making excuses. Now we're making assumptions. What does Occam's razor say? The conclusion with the least amount of assumptions is usually the right one. And so even if we go, it is very possible that this person failed and that person failed and that person failed and that person failed and that person failed. You have to assume all of them failed in unison. And that is a heavy assumption. It is a much lower assumption to say somebody helped them. That's one assumption. Well, to both, so just need the head of Secret Service or a team leader in it. Easy enough to sneak another fall guy with just that. And when we go back to Kim Cheadle, then, I mean, are you really putting it past her? Are you really putting it past her? I don't know how you can. And again, I'm not saying, I know Kim Cheadle was behind this. That's not what I'm saying. He is saying, I know for a fact there is zero chance. How do you know that? This is a dogmatic belief. Government, good. Police, good. So it must have been something else. That's not how the world works, homie. Infilm said, oh, I get it. All of the police in the Secret Service were lazy and incompetent. That's literally his argument. I mean, she came out and said that the roof was too sloped to have people on it, and she gave a reason. Yeah, right? I mean, that's all we need, right? Did she give a reason? I mean, too sloped is the reason, but they were on a more sloped roof right behind it. I was saying earlier before you got here that, people might question why she would do something like that hearing instead of just stepping down. It is very possible that as bad as that a lack of answers and vague answers, as bad as that looked, that could have been better than her just being like, yeah, we really fucked up. I was supposed to do this, but I didn't. I was supposed to, and she thought she was going to keep her job. Sorry, honey. Shout out to our boy Nick Lou Ketty in the building. Welcome to the party. Good to see ya. Good to see ya. Welcome. Yeah, she obviously lied about the sloped roof. So what was she hiding? According to Grady, nothing. She's just stupid and or lazy. That's it.
could go on, maybe it was fatigue, maybe they're on their third, event in a row, or maybe they got shortcut on, well, we're not sending as many Secret Service. You have to back it up with state police.
Or maybe they were involved and did this on purpose.
There's just 1,000 different moving parts.
That could be that I'm going to use to keep my worldview, that the police, the authorities would not do this. I'm going to choose to add in all of these things to make sure my worldview stays intact.
To back it up with state police, there's just 1,000 different moving parts. And although it sells well, you've got to get people to be complicit in such, and I just don't believe that.
So
I do.
Okay. So how many employees work for you in the entire county?
There we go.
I've got almost 2,000.
2,000. Of the 2,000 employees, how many are frontline, where you would say, these are the guys, when we're going to go take down somebody, I'm sending these guys?
Yeah, 800 of them.
800. Of the 800
a little less than half
you have, how many of them are women, give or take?
Probably 20%.
So 20%. So 160. So you got 640 that are male. If hypothetically they call to do an event in Polk County, they're coming to you.
Yes.
Okay. And they're asking you to give your best to protect the president. How many of your 160 women would you send to protect the president and be around him?
Good question. The answer should be 0. Unless you've got some Amazonian woman. The answer should be 0. Not because she's a woman, but because somebody is going to be bigger, faster, stronger, and probably better. wanted votes, so they all don't need to be complicated or complicit. He's overthinking it as if it's a Hollywood movie. Again, that's what he needs to do. He needs these assumptions that, well, it must have been this, or it must have been that, or it must have been that, or it must have been that, because I can't possibly believe that somebody who wears a uniform like I do would do something like that. This, again, shows you that your beliefs have a strong effect. But your behavior. Imagine if instead of this conversation going this way, he was willing to entertain the notion that somebody could have done something wrong. We can get a lot of information from somebody who's a sheriff 52 years, but we can't even breach that, because now the whole conversation is, was it a conspiracy or not? Because it's not like there's been any conspiracy theories that have been proven correct in the last few years, right? Like, all conspiracies have been wrong. Oh, wait.
President, how many of your 160 women would you send to protect the president and be around him?
It would depend on their assignment. If I
That's
think
what
we
he's
got
asking.
maybe one lady on the SWAT team. So if we sent our SWAT team of 40 people, there would be one female or two females.
1 out of 40. So that's 5%. 5%. Okay, so let's go through it. I'm a numbers guy. So 5% of your SWAT team are women, right? Okay. So can you, when you see the president getting shot and you see the amount of women around him, okay, and they didn't send the A team because that's what the existing president, Biden, totally makes sense. Apparently the B team may have been with Jill Biden, smaller little event. You send your C team, and some of these guys didn't even have the proper training, according to Dan Bongino, who was kind of speaking on this all over the place. And then of the amount of people protecting him, the number
DEI needs to DIE.
Who were women who are protecting him. And then I go as a regular citizen to say, maybe this is normal. I was in the U.S. Army. We had women in our unit, and there were some really, gung-ho, like ladies that we had. How is it that the Secret Service that protects the President Biden, they're all white male, but the Secret Service that was protecting the president, 4 or 5, 6 of them were ladies? You don't, that doesn't make you sit there and say, why don't you send your best? One guy draws 50, 60, 70,000 people in attendance. The other guy draws 45 people. You send your best for 45 people, but you're...
Oh, please let me have this. Please. Is it here? Is it here? Is it here? Hold on. There was a video of, damn it. Come on. I don't think I have it. Hold on. Give me 2 seconds. There was a video of all right, I don't know where it is, but there was a video of the one of her rallies, and it was just so empty. It was so quiet. I don't have it here. I don't know what it is. But it was hilarious.
50, 60, 70,000 people in attendance. The other guy draws 45 people. You send your best for 45 people, but your C team for the best. Doesn't that make you question that?
Well, first and foremost, there should be no C team. Okay. They should all be A team.
Okay, but that's not reality. That's not reality. Whatever the bar is for making it into the Secret Service, they're all going to pass that. They're all going to pass that bar. But there's going to be people who pass it just like that. There's going to be people who pass it like that. There's going to be people who pass with flying colors. This is naive. Come on, man. Come on. Well, no, they should all be exactly the same. Sure sounds like DEI to me. Sounds like DEI to me. And the oh, thank you, Nick. Very, very, very much appreciated. Shout out to Nick. And shout out to the unwanted foe with another $2 make ya holla. Get a treat for Morty. Of course, every donation comes with a treat for my co-host Morty. What the foe said. Better than what we got. It's better than what we got. Apparently. They should all be 18.
And that's the bottom line, because there's a lot of jobs in the Secret Service. They don't just do security, they do investigations. So the question is, did they take some people because they were shorthanded off of an investigations desk and put them into a security job that were 18 people 10 years ago, but they're not now. Or that's what you hope this investigation shows us, because there should be no B team and C team. And once again,
but and if you like, even if like, let's say, fine, whatever, we have a C team, so we don't like that, and so we need to raise the bar. Still, when you raise the bar, there are going to be people who just barely pass. There's going to be people who pass pretty well, and there's going to be people that pass with flying colors. That is reality. There is no equity. Come on, man. Come on. Trump's supposed to train. I did not see that. I would love to see that. That would be awesome. When is that supposed to go down? Well, I'll definitely cover that.
Shows us, because there should be no B team and C team. And once again, I defend the fact that I have worked with the Secret Service and I have seen the quality. There obviously is a huge failure here. I don't know why that investigation will tell us, but admit that there's failures early on and start to correct them, and then release information as you solidify it through the investigation, so the American people know what happened. If not, then of course it's normal to have the conspiracy theorist and go, well, why is it all ladies? Well, let me say this quite affectionately.
It's not just, why is it all ladies? Oh, it must be something. No, it's the grains of sand make a heap. It's what about this and that 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 and that. It's not any one of these things. It's the collection of all of these things that have no explanation. And I would love to compare Jimmy Carter's Secret Service detail versus Trump's. That would be very interesting. I would assume that it would be stronger for Trump because he is more controversial, he's more relevant. But that's a really good point. How would we figure that out? I don't know. Let's see. Okay, so let's say, how does Jimmy Carter's Secret Service detail compare to that of Donald Trump? So Monday, 1 p.m. Is that Eastern? No, I'm not gonna be up by Eastern, but we can definitely cover that for the Monday show. Much said he probably told PBD to leave the clown show at home so they can get straight to business. Probably. So it says a level of Secret Service provided to former presidents such as Jimmy Carter and Donald Trump follows certain standard protocols, but can vary based on individual needs and current threat assessments. Comparison for Jimmy Carter. Initially, former presidents were relieved lifetime protection. That was changed in 1994 to 10 years after leaving office, but was restored to lifetime protection in 2013. Size generally smaller and less intensive compared to recent presidents. Carter leads a relatively low profile life, which typically requires fewer agents. It requires fewer agents, but are there fewer agents? So yeah, this is just saying it should be more because of the fact that he is, a high public profile, controversial in nature, and so on. But the specific number of agents and resources allocated can vary and is not publicly disclosed for security reasons. That makes sense, I suppose. But yeah, that's a really good point. I would love to know that. I would absolutely love to know that. All right, let's dive back in. Yeah.
The conspiracy theorist and go, well, why is it all ladies? Well, let me say this quite affectionately. I've got ladies on my team that have much more cojones.
Nice. So I guess we know what we're doing Monday, and of course we have Philosophy Friday coming on Friday, and then we'll be doing this on. I'm gonna make sure it's good enough. I mean, Aiden Ross is, but Trump is Trump. So
I've got ladies on my team that have much more cojones than some men I know. Okay,
do they have more height and strength? Then I don't care.
And if they won't run into gunfire, they don't carry a gun with me. We train and we train and we train and we train and we train. So we don't look at ladies and men or our color. We look at everybody has to be the best trained.
Is that how every sheriff looks at their jurisdiction, or is that you? And because you are, doing what it takes to make sure that everybody who has a badge is up to par, are you then projecting to assume that everybody else does that? Just because you're a good mayor, if you're a mayor, doesn't mean that Tiffany Haynard does not exist. Right?
Or our color. We look at everybody has to be the best trained. And when we have a security detail, whether it's the sitting president or those that want the job, we send our trained people in security details. We don't send everybody. If we don't get shorthanded and say, hey, oh my gosh, we're really busy, so I'm going to send the white collar people who are great working white collar crimes, but they haven't worked a security detail in 10 years.
Sure.
You don't send them.
Exactly. And if he's talking about training, that's fine. But having somebody that's 6'6" versus somebody that's 5'6", not the same. I will take the 6 foot. Even as myself at 5'4", the 5'6" person is still going to be taller than me. I'll take 6'6", 6 foot nothing over 5'6" every goddamn day. One of popcorn accounts said, I'm a chick and I don't want female bodyguards. How sexist of you.
How dare you?
Evil. Or is it that you understand reality? Oh, Jesus.
But they haven't worked a security detail in 10 years.
Sure.
You don't send them.
Did that look like an A-team to you?
No, it didn't.
Okay. So how do you not send your A-team? And
Exactly. So we can come back to the notion that there should only be the A-team, but there wasn't. And you admit that there wasn't. But I said, although there was a funny Korean TV show about a girl with superhuman strength who's hired to be a bodyguard for a video game company, of course they fall in love. Well, hey, I mean, again, if she got superhuman strength, great. If she doesn't, then that's a different conversation. I'll take Kamiko over 3 dudes any day. You know. Actually, I don't want to put that out there because that sounds like some anime shit. I'm talking about the boys. But I'll take a soup from a female superhero from the boys universe over the 6'6" dude. But that's because she's got superpowers. And he filmed said Trump's car gets a flat. What Secret Service person is getting out to fix it? Probably Trump himself, right? Nick, I don't know if it's showing correctly, but we have 12 likes and 7 in the chat. So good job, people. Thank you. Very, very, very much appreciated. Yeah, you guys all making friends. I love to see it.
No, it didn't.
Okay. So how do you not send your A-team? And when you say, women that are more tougher and cojones than men, I saw them. I reported to some of them. They were insanely tough, but that's not the example I saw there. So could it be someone's responsibility to, and by the way, for me, I think today, you look up 2 reports, okay? One report is the level of trust in the U.S. government. It's the lowest it's ever been in the history of America. And that's not conspiracy theories, respectfully. That's a lot of regular day-to-day people that are successful, have families, they get up, they pay their bills, they take care of their families, they try to do their best to pay their taxes.
I've seen that data. Yes, I agree with that.
Lowest trust ever in the U.S. government and the lowest trust ever in the, what do you call it, mainstream media. It's that embarrassing where it's at right now. And when the drop-off comes up with the lack of trust? Right after the JFK assassination. Because the more and more info came in, the less and less, used to be at 72, 73 at JFK.
But we know. It was Lee Harvey Oswald, of course.
We're like, yeah, I trust the government. They want what's best for me. It's 27, 32 today, give or take what the numbers are at. Give you one wild thing for you to be thinking about. So today, have you Googled, do you use Google?
Yes.
Okay. If you were to Google, Rob, let's just Google something. Google Wilt Chamberlain. Let's see what comes next. That's the first thing I was going to say. 100-point game. Because when I think about Wilt Chamberlain, I think about the 100-point game where he's holding a picture. Okay, great. Let's go to Barry Bonds. Go to Barry Bonds. Let's see what comes up. Okay, Hall of Fame because that.
What if it was just me? Or did sheriff just defend female agents like a white kid who drops the N-bomb, say, I have a black friend? Spot on, and I think we gotta give that comment of the night. Facts, man. It's the same. It's the same shit. Well, it's okay for me to say it, but you know, it's backpedaling. Well, I know women who can. That's not what we're talking about, dude. Well done. Well done. Well done. So, all right, we're looking up. What do we
Barry Bonds. Go to Barry Bonds. Let's see what comes up. Okay, Hall of Fame, because that's the last one that just happened. He didn't get in it. Okay, and home runs. There you go. 74 home runs in a season. 73, 74 home runs. And
Good one. Oh my God, you are on fire tonight, son. I got a binder full of females. Oh my God.
Let's type in, I don't know, type in Jay Leno. Okay, let's type in Jay Leno.
Right, where's this going? Where's this going, PBD?
You know, chin, that's his chin. Of course, you think about his chin. Car collection. I think about
his chin.
Just yesterday, I watched a video with a very wealthy man, David, who Jay Leno went and tried the 5 different Ferraris, the 288, the F40, the F50, the Enzo, and the LaFerrari. It was actually a great video. I watched with my kids.
I would assume he's gonna go towards either Donald Trump or Secret Service, and how the suggestions are not going to be what we would expect them to be. That's where I assume this is going, but I don't know.
So if I type in right now, you're a person that doesn't believe in any of this stuff. If I type in right now Donald Trump, what do you think is the most common thing people are Googling right now?
What did I tell you? Didn't I tell you?
God, I love being right. Happens really often, and you'd think I get used to it, but I never do. I never do, baby.
The first 2 names of Donald Trump.
Probably the shooting.
Okay, let's type it. Just Rob.
Wait, what did he say about 2 names?
With the first 2 names of Donald Trump. Type in right now Donald Trump. What do you think is the most common thing people are Googling right now with the first 2 names of Donald Trump?
What do you mean the first 2 names? I don't understand what he's asking. Googling right now with the first 2 names? I'm here. I'm here. I don't know what's happening with my computer. I'm giving it 2 seconds. It doesn't look like anything is happening. Give me a second here. How do I make myself bigger? I can't do that. All right. We're just going to do a restart. I can't even use my mouse. Oh, man. This is going to... Oh, wait. Are we back? It's showing up here. What if I do this? Hold on. Give me 1 second. We're going to figure it out. We're going to figure it out. Struggle streaming. Struggle streaming. No, nothing. God damn it. All right. I'm just going to have to, yep, big tech shutting me down. They don't want any of it. All right. So I'm going to shut. I have a feeling, you know, like I've been saying how convenient it is that every time I open or every time I turn on the computer, like all the windows just show up. But if I shut it down by holding the button, then it's all gonna be gone. Is there no way I can get just a restart? Come on, baby. All right. Hold on. Oh, it's been so long since oh, okay. So that did shutting down like on its own, not like a forced shutdown. Okay, so let's see. So that should get me full screen here. No, okay. Well, pray if that's your deal. Pray it up. All right, let's see. What do we got? What do we got? What do we got? Come on, baby. Come. Oh, Jesus. Okay, maybe I do need to do the... Oh, okay. So was that to shut down? The light from the camera is still on, and this is still on. It said shutting down when I hit the button. There we go. Okay. That's better. I can do this. Okay. I mean, I'm here, but my computer's still on. Damn it. Okay, so we're gonna have to do a forced shutdown. All right. All right, computer's off. And we restart. Oh my God, it's been months since I've had to set up all those windows. I mean, it did do a restart, like a whatchamacallit, like an update, and then it came when I turned it on. It had all the windows. I'll be so happy. I'll be so happy. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Come on. Give me the goods. Give me the goods. All right, we're loading up. We got light on there. All right, obviously not going to show you guys my pin. Come on, fingers crossed, fingers crossed. Give me all the windows to the wall. Yes! Yes! All right. All right, hold on 1 second. All right, so, okay. Banger. Mic working. Enter studio. Boom, baby. Sorry. All right, we made it. Why is this all messed up? Oh, okay, gotcha. Hold on. I'm doing it. We're making it. Alrighty. So I'm gonna just back this up a little bit. I'm gonna let that play.
Oh, chin. That's his chin. Of course, you think about his chin. Car collection. I think about just yesterday. I watched a video with a very wealthy man, David, who Jay Leno went and tried the 5 different Ferraris: the 288, the F40, the F50, the Enzo, and the LaFerrari. It was actually a great video I watched with my kids. So if I type in right now, you're a person that doesn't believe in any of this stuff. If I type in right now Donald Trump, what do you think is the most common thing people are Googling right now with the first 2 names of Donald Trump?
The pew-pewing.
Probably
The
the
sassy
Okay,
nation.
let's type it. Just, Rob, delete the other stuff, Rob. Just type in Donald Trump. Okay, and what do we see? Campaign events, Donald J. Trump. Okay, how about you go to the next letter? Let's do A, assassination. You type in A, nothing comes up. Type in S again, A, S, nothing. That's kind of weird.
So wait, I wasn't paying attention. I want to see that again.
Assassination. You type in A, nothing comes up. Type in S again, A, S, nothing.
Wow,
That's kind of weird.
Nothing. That is insane. Just resurrect in 3 days. Didn't take that long. I'm even better than that, Jesus. Praise Jesus. Thank you. Oh, my goodness. Oh, boy. Unwanted foe, you are being so very generous. I do very much appreciate it. And StreamYard is showing a little weird. I don't want to mess with anything. I'll just leave it. It looks fine on the YouTube thing, so I'm just gonna assume it's fine. Thank you, sir. Thank you very, very much. Out sponsoring
S again.
Yourself.
A, S, nothing. That's kind of weird. So then the report comes out on who gave the most money to Joe Biden in 2020 election. Can you go to Twitter, please? Go to Twitter and type in Elon Musk, who just shared this, okay?
Thank you again, sir. The sponsor of the stream at 9:50. Very, very, very much appreciated.
And if you go to Twitter, Elon Musk's account, and keep going lower. It should come up, right? Keep going a little more. It's coming up. 2 more. Right? It's coming up right now, right there.
This always annoys me. Like when they don't have you knew you were going to do this. Why didn't you pull this up before? You're spending a lot of time. You know, I get sweaty and like, oh my God, what's happening? And how long did that actually take to restart everything? Maybe 2 minutes, 3 minutes? And I'm like, oh my God. Here You're live on air with millions of, well, maybe not millions of people. And you're just like, keep scrolling. Sorry, just a little personal pet peeve.
It should come up right. Keep go a little more. It's coming up. 2 more. Right. It's coming up right now, right there. Zoom in. So this is 2020. Who gave the most? How many people donors gave to Trump versus Biden?
So top donor contributions to former Vice President Joe Biden and President Trump's campaign committees in the 2020 election cycle. Let's just get rid of that. So we have oh, I'm back. There we go. Jesus Christ. I don't know what's going on. I don't understand. I don't understand why I'm hardwired. I'm hardwired to the router. And it's still telling me, like, oh, your Wi-Fi is not great. Like, I'm not on Wi-Fi. Anyway, yeah, the biggest name here is, or the biggest number rather, is 200,000, whereas the smallest number on Joe's side, according to this chart, is twice that.
United States Postal Service, 240,000 gave to Trump. Alphabet, Google, 1.7 million gave to Joe Biden. Why would Google, which is where we go, not put Donald Trump assassination attempt? You don't think that's a little weird? Sir, I mean, you have no idea how many years I've been following. You probably don't know who I am. I know who you are. And I love the way you lead. And I love the way that you're a no bullshit type of guy, that you come out and what's that BS towel that you have? You're going to throw the BS towel?
I have that.
I think this is, if you can pull up.
Is that what popcorn's been waiting for? Is that what popcorn's been waiting for? The BS flag. I'm just gonna check this real quick. Orientation. What does this do? Oh, that's cool. I did not know you could do this. Interesting. Okay. Sorry, just playing around with oh, she's ready. Let's do it.
What's that BS towel that you have? You're gonna go to BS towel?
I have that.
I think this is, if you can pull up the BS towel, you're not at all tempted here to want to throw the BS towel. The more deeper we get into all these weird things that are popping up, I don't know. I think if there's ever been a qualified time for you to drop the BS towel, some of it is now. But it doesn't look like you have any hesitation that anything's going on here with it.
Not only does he not have any hesitation, but the level of confidence that he has in terms of, nope, this is exactly the way that they said it, is, dare I say, silly.
It's nefarious right there. Zoom in a little bit. The BS flag. I think this is one of those moments that we got to drop the BS flag. But you don't think so, do you?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay, so what would it take? What would it take for you to see, like, I mean, clearly, it doesn't really matter because he still believes that, what's space that Lee Harvey Oswald was the JFK shooter. But what would it take? What would it take? Oh my goodness! Funkmaster said, "I gotta come. I gotta come clean about something." So let me know again. My thing's messed up, but it looks right on the thing. So just let me know if you can't see him. I'm gonna bring him right up here. Yummy. So I gotta come clean about something. Okay. This is a safe space. Yeah. Okay. So that's looking a little jacked up like this. So we'll just keep it like that. Tell me. I want the tea, baby.
I think this is one of those moments that we got to drop the BS flag. You don't think so, do you?
Not yet.
Not yet. We made progress in 15 minutes. That's good. We made progress. But you know why I said we made progress? Because
okay, so the NABJ Burn Popcorn account said Trump went up against 3 black women on what is that? On a panel earlier today. One of them was hostile out the gate, and he destroyed her. Oh, cool. You're going to have to check that out.
This morning we're having a meeting, and I took...
Hey, yo! I said, shit. Me too. I said shit, me too. All right, we're going to get the biggest, blockiest one we got in here. We got the biggest, blockiest one we got in here. Morty, eat it up, eat it up. One more. Let's go. Oh, my goodness. Thank you. So very, very much knocking unwanted foe out of that spot. Oh, my goodness. Thank you. So very, very much. Again, guys, I mean, I know you don't like when I get all mushy and stuff, but this is my life. This is what I want to do with my life. And you guys doing stuff like this, whether it's $50, it's $5, it's $2, it's 99 cents, it adds up and it allows me to not only do what I want to do, but do what I think we all need to be done. So thank you again. So very much. Thank you. Okay, so Bernard said it's the National Association of Black Journalists. So basically, a room full of people who hate Trump. Fair enough. Funkmaster's like the Monopoly man. Indeed. Shout out. Thank you so very, very much.
This morning we're having a meeting, and I took a couple of my guys out to lunch. We had a big screw up this week. Just like in any business, you always have screw ups, but this week was one department. I run 9 companies. So on the insurance side, one week we could have compliance. I'm dealing with Department of Insurance. I'm dealing with lawyers. I'm dealing with this. I'm dealing with that. I'm dealing with marriage didn't work out. That guy got a DI over the weekend because he had a celebration. He decides to drink too much. He goes out. So all these weird calls you got to take that just isn't necessary, but that's part of running a big business. That's a good sized business. We go to a meeting today, and I take these guys to lunch. I said, listen, the failure we had last week, what caused it? I took a picture of it, and I'll read you some of it, okay, on the points we wrote. And it was on this restaurant I like to write stuff. Okay, number 1, we didn't look at the data. Number 2.
That's a good point. We hit 50, so I do have one right here, right? I think. Hold on. When you're right, you're right. I guess we're making that a standard thing. All right. A standard thing. So this is, the peanut butter. Obviously, I can't get much out of that, but he certainly can. Let's chuck it over there. Go and get it, boy. Go and get it. There you go. Let's thank everybody who contributed to that. The Funk Master General Unwanted Foe. You guys put that together all by yourself. Thank you so very much. And you can see he is already loving it. So I guess we'll make that a constant thing. If we can hit $50 on a stream, Morty will get a new peanut butter. And if I don't have an empty one, I have 3 empty ones ready to go. The one I'm using now is relatively full, so it's not gonna be ready. But if we don't have it, then I'll just give him a giant scoop, and I'll put it on the you know what I'll do? I'll put it right here, and I'll just rub it on the blanket here, and you can just see him licking it right there. There we go. Peanut butter jelly time. Let's go. Yeah, I appreciate that. Having my boys back. That is my boy. And look how happy he is. You did that. You, Unwanted Foe, and Funkmaster General did that. Thank you so much. Let's keep this party raging.
I took a picture of it, and I'll read you some of it, okay, on the points we wrote. And it was on this restaurant I like to write stuff. Okay, number 1, we didn't look at the data. Number 2, incentive model was weak. Number 3, we didn't make reference calls. 3 of them, we normally do. Number 4 is talent's knowledge. It wasn't interviewed that strong. Number 5 is we didn't interview 3 other competitors of this person. We just went with one. We don't look at 3 options. Like I like to look at 3 options. You want to buy a car? Let's get 3 options. Then let's go buy the best price, best options. Let's do that, right? Then interview. Number 7, and I'll stay on this, is accountability. We didn't hold him accountable. So we can sit there and say, well, it's his fault. It's this, it's that. No, we didn't hold him accountable. So it's not like only 5 people believe this is a little weird. Right. It's not only 1 million people that believe this is a little weird.
And let's just say, just because a lot of people think a thing doesn't mean it's true. A lot of people think that there's a God. Is there? I don't know. But just the fact that a lot of people believe it doesn't mean anything. Shout out to Equality and Difference because vagina over on Rumble. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the party. Good evening to you. So Patrick is a cool guy. I think he's pretty cool. Yeah, I agree. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Well, it's his fault. It's this, it's that. No, we didn't hold him accountable. So it's not like only 5 people believe this is a little weird. It's not only 1 million people that believe this is a little weird. We're talking tens of millions of people that are not delusional, that are taking LSD and ecstasy on a daily basis. People are just sitting there saying, come on, give me it. You're serious? Really? Yeah. I'm supposed to believe that? I don't know. I simply want to know what happened. That's what I want.
Shit.
And
Me too. Oh, he's loving it. He's loving it. Thank you again, guys.
I think if anything happened, one side of the aisle wants this event to go by as quickly as possible so they can just go like this. Yeah. Don't worry. Let's move on. Okay, so here is a beautiful bear. This bear is 48 years old. Look how cute it is. Can we look at this thing here? No, focus on this giraffe. Do you know the average giraffe is 8 feet?
Yep. So Burner Popcorn Account says, what do you think of Kamala code switching and identifying with different races whenever it's convenient? I think it is exactly the playbook that they set up. So that people like her could do precisely that. That's the game that they set up. Is it racist? Yes. Is it dirty and scummy and manipulative? Yes. Is it surprising? Nope. We heard Hillary doing the same thing, and I'm sure we even heard AOC doing the same thing. I just got to say, there has to be a reason. As dumb as some of these people are, it's not like they don't what's the word? What's the focus group? It's not like they don't focus group this shit. And so there's no way that they didn't ask the question, well, is it better if she code switches and talks like she's from Atlanta? Or is it better if she just talks normally? There's no way that she just did that. They did some kind of test, and clearly it tested better when she code switched. So at the end of the day, I think we gotta blame that on the people who are moved by, oh, she sound like me. She sound like me, so she must be good. I can do it too. I don't mean anything. Thank you, Elizabeth. You indeed are awesome as well. Dilly to Elizabeth and to all of you. To anybody who's spending a Wednesday night hanging out with me and all of us here watching PBD and Sheriff Grady, shout out to you.
Are we going to get to the bottom of this? No, look, we just fired her. She's resigned. Oh, so now that she's resigned, we have nobody else to hold accountable. Where do we go from here? That's the problem I think a lot of American people have with the lack of accountability and follow-up. We're just supposed to sit there and believe and say, yeah, nothing happened. It's a little tough to do today.
No, I think you've mixed two things, because the accountability is spot on. You're exactly correct. And there was nobody help. First off, they weren't appropriately trained. There was not the appropriate quality control check up front. If there had been the appropriate quality control check up front, then even the weaknesses would have been, all of that operationally. Politically, you're right again. The Democrats don't want anybody to think about this, because they've got to move it off the front page of the paper, as they used to say. They've got to move it off the top of the evening news, because it's bad for the Democrats' cause. Okay. That doesn't mean it's a conspiracy to shoot President Trump. That means their political pivot people are saying, look, this is a really bad thing on all of us Democrats. So politically, let's have all the diversions we can to move it off the top. Now, that's what's politically going on. That's what the media, the ABCs and all that are doing. They're trying to move it off of the top. But operationally, I can tell you, I have seen what I call slow pitches, whiffed and missed over and over and over because people weren't held accountable. There was no checks and balances. They didn't have the right resources there at the right time. And it's almost given them too much credit to think that there could be a grand conspiracy.
Again, it's not a grand conspiracy. It's just a very small conspiracy. Quality and Deference said, Carmela, the only stupid person in the USA. Facts. Packmaster said, they never try to sound like me. I want the L's changed to W's and way more cursing. Yep. And 3 is pronounced tree. Oh, you coming up here? All right. The Morty Cam is coming here. Come on up, boss. Yeah. No. Look, I got you. Yeah, there you go. There we go. All right. Front and center. We could leave this here then. Beautiful. It's tree. I can't count to 3. I can only count to tree. Any film said, did one person decide they didn't have the right amount of security there? That's a good question. Who is that on? Is that on Kim Cheadle? Here, I'll back up, see if we can get him on screen here. That's a good question. Is that on Kim Cheadle, or is there a lot of people who should have been like, hey, wait, we should have somebody on this roof, and there's nobody there? Wonderful said, here, I thought the cops don't really believe in coincidences, especially when there's so many at one time. Well, if you need it to keep your worldview intact, well, you're going to do what you got to do. Quality and Deference said, what kind of dog is Morty? So he is a half Chihuahua and half Golden Doodle. So he's got that Chihuahua face, but he kind of looks like a little black lab, right? He's so cute. I love him. I got him at 7 weeks old. 7 weeks. And he's going to be 15. Oh, are we leaving again? All right. You go enjoy that. You earned it. Funkmaster and Unwanted Foe earned it for you. And Elizabeth came in clutch. He's so happy. Thank you again, guys. But yeah, exactly. A couple two tree.
It's almost given them too much credit to think that there could be a grand conspiracy between a bunch of working Secret Service and police. I just, because I've grown up in this business, and I'm not trying to defend them.
Like every single time. Well, let's celebrate their third super chat on a live stream. He did 3 in this stream. But, they ain't gonna do what they gonna do. But I am totally okay. With YouTube reminding everybody to thank Punkmaster every single time. All of you, every single time. I want to see those likes. I want to see those likes on those super chats. This is a free show. If you're watching and you have never, ever contributed anything, that is totally fine. But this show cannot exist without the people who are. So just, things like liking the video, that's the thing that can really, really help as much, if not more sometimes than just money in my pocket. Growing the platform, liking the videos, and welcoming people as Nick does when they come into the chat. If you guys really like this, I want it to grow. I want more of it. But again, I can't do it alone, and you guys are coming through. Thank you again. I'm gonna stop saying thank you because it's gonna wear out. But I love you guys so much. I just, because I've grown up. Quality. It does look like a little mini lab, right? But that's the when I don't want to explain. Well, he's have this and have that. I just say he's a mini black lab. I just say it. It's like, why not? Secret Service and police. I just, because I've grown up in this business, and I'm not trying to defend them. If I thought there was a conspiracy, I would tell you that. I don't think there is. I think there's rank incompetence, rank failure from the beginning.
in these uncertain times, if there's anything we need, is we need people to believe the future looks bright. So if you've heard about me saying this mission to you, we're on a mission to get 1 million people to wear this gear. And this is what we're doing. If you buy one of these hats, there's a category of buying one hat, getting the second one free. If you haven't yet worn this gear publicly, go ahead and test it out. Buy some of the gear, wear it in public, and see how many people will stop by and say, you also watch Value Timmy? You also follow PBD Podcast? I do too. Place your order. Go to vtmerch.com. Click on the link above or below. Place your order and represent the VT and the PBD Podcast gear.
There you go. A little bit of promotion for PBD.
Okay. I want to show you 2 clips. Kim Cheadle, Director of Secret Service. She's being questioned because, they said, do you have the guy's phone? We don't. Did you know that he was searching what he was searching day before? We did. Did you go and find out? Have you gone to the property? Not yet. Do you think there's any kind of improvements or adjustments you guys can make? Not really. We're not making any adjustments to the RNC. Okay. Is there anything? Was there anything when he shot the rifle? Any residual effects? Did you guys go look at the stuff? No, we power washed it. Pictures of the FBI power washing. All this kind of stuff. Weird. But here's her being questioned. And one of the things that 2 answers don't add up. Rob, if you want to play this clip, play the one first where she says she doesn't, and then the one that says she does. Whichever way you want to go, I'll let you lead the way.
Now, since the assassination attempt,
Lauren Boebert, I fucking love you. She is. Is she the hottest? I think she's the hottest. I think she's the hottest in Congress. Right? Who's hotter in the Congress than Lauren Boebert? I don't think anybody.
She does.
Right,
whichever way you want to go.
We're looking now. We're listening.
Now, since the assassination attempt, you are under oath, reminding you. Have you communicated with anyone at the White House on an encrypted messaging app like Signal?
I don't know. Maybe.
Yes or no?
No, I have not.
Are you willing to surrender your personal phone for analysis?
If I am required to do so.
Okay. I will look into making that request because I would like to see your personal phone to see if you're communicating over encrypted messaging apps.
Now, okay. Here's.
I'm not from Anna Paulina. Anna Paulina. Oh, did I? Oh, okay. I am not mad at this. Let's. What do we got here? Let's do. Some of these are washed out. I want to get a full deal here. All right. So this one, I like this. Like, I'm not mad at that. I mean, hey, yo. She has. I think. So a second one here. If we're, I think that she is. She's got more of that girl. No. I think she's more attractive, but Lauren Boebert has a little bit more of that girl next door vibe, but very, very, very hot. A veteran and not goofy. I kind of like the goofy, but definitely shout out to the military. Yeah. Quality and Deference said Luna is easy on the eyes. Coming up. You want this? Come on, come. There we go. Good job. I mean, oh, she does look like Victoria Newman. She looks exactly like Victoria Newman. That's a good catch. I don't know. So let's make that a poll. Just because I'm me.
Phone to see if you're communicating over encrypted messaging apps.
Now, okay. Here's another one. Go ahead, Rob.
Representative Boebert asked earlier about using encrypted apps that you said you have not used, I guess, Signal. Have you used any encrypted app to communicate from your personal device?
I do on occasion use encrypted apps to communicate.
So you use some form of an encrypted app to communicate with people within the federal government, with local law enforcement? Whom are you communicating using encrypted apps?
Many times it's with colleagues and associates.
So you're communicating with colleagues on a personal device
She's not allowed to.
There are times that the Secret Service, when we work internationally with some of our partners, that they don't have the same texting capability.
And you're not able to do that with your government issued device.
Recently, we have been able to install some of those apps on government devices.
So the answer is yes, we could, but we just did it on our personal phones anyway for reasons that have nothing to do with anything bad. And this is what I mean, that these vague answers that are like half, admitting to things and stuff like that. This is, going to be better for her, or it would have been better for her than just coming out and being like, "Yep, we fucked up." And I mean, yes, she did eventually, step down, but that was not her thought at this point in time.
Device.
Recently, we have been able to install
60-40.
some of those apps on government devices.
60-40 on the poll. Replay gang, let me know in the comments who is hotter looks only, Lauren Boebert or Anna Paulina Luna.
Okay. Let's talk about some of the things
you can pause it right
that we can.
What does that make you think about? Anything or not really?
Nope. Everything's just as it should be. The government's going to run the government, and the Congress is going to be Congress, and everything is the way it's supposed to be.
Now, let me take you back to the beginning, please. You remember me talking about professional law enforcement and politics appointment? She was a political appointee. So what was her job in the Secret Service before? I mean, she served some time. I can't answer that question. But it's obvious to me that she wasn't qualified to be in that position. When she's under that kind of questioning, I'm not familiar with that app, but certainly to suggest that someone in that high ranking a position would not be on an encrypted app in order to take care of national, international business that should never be intercepted because it could put people's lives at risk. They have that. Why didn't she just say that? Well, of course I've talked on encrypted apps. That's how we keep sensitive, confidential information sensitive and confidential.
I knew it.
That the bad actors who are actively trying.
Okay, I knew it. I could sense it. I'm like, this seems like it's dragging. Okay.
Information sensitive and confidential, so that the bad actors who are actively trying to attack us don't actively attack us. They deal with some pretty remarkably dangerous events when it comes to international terrorism.
I'll at this point, I'll just move.
Okay, he's saying I'm moving on because you're not giving me anything. Like I don't understand what you're saying a lot of things, but none of them have anything to do with why you would or would not trust what you're hearing. Maybe he's just. Sheriff is a politician. Let's not forget, a sheriff is a politician. So maybe he's politicking. Burner Popcorn account talking about Nancy Mace said, not a politician, but someone my bad. Not a politician, but someone needs to wipe up Savannah Hernandez, the journalist for TPUSA. Yo, is she single? Oof, I would. But I mean, Anyville said because she's using her personal phone and not her government phone, which she should not be using her personal phone for government business. Yep. And this is the same thing that was wrong with Hillary using personal computers and servers for government business. Sad.
When it comes to international terrorism.
I'll at this point, I'll just move on because.
But why didn't she say that?
I mean, listen, this is for me.
Because she was lying, bro.
I'm trying to find out why this was handled the way that it was. When 20 years from now, when
that was low. Oh, that's not what I meant to do, but you're probably not tall enough. Ha 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 ha. Oh, well, thank you. Aren't you such a jokester? Got jokes, eh? All right, that was pretty good.
This was handled the way that it was. Wait,
how tall is she? There's no way she's that tall.
when 20 years from now, when we go to movies, okay, and you're going to be around for a while because you're active, you're working, you're healthy, you'll be seeing movies in 20 years. When we go to movies in 20 years, Trump 98, they'll be making movies about him. There's going to be more movies being made about this man than any other president in the history of mankind. Okay.
Who is it now? Who is the president that has the most movies made about them? We obviously have Lincoln. We have JFK. I don't know. That's interesting. I don't feel like there's multiple. I mean, we have like, the movie Nixon. We have a movie. Quality difference. We were talking about Savannah Hernandez. She said, I might not be tall enough. She's like, I'll check just to make sure. You can twist the knife. Hey, if she's under 5'7", I got it. All right, I got it. Yeah, I think so. I mean, but that would only be because of like the Vampire Hunter, right? I think. But point stands.
There's going to be more movies being made about this man than any other president in the history of mankind. Okay.
I believe that.
And, this Friday, we're having a premiere at our comedy club down the street. And we're going to have Dennis Quaid there, who is starring Reagan. And that coming up, we're going to have a couple hundred people in the audience to watch the movie with us. And then Dennis Quaid afterwards going to come in, and him and I are going to do a 2 or 3 hour podcast together.
Reagan.
Talking about this. But even as great as
interesting. Let's take another look at that. This is private screening. Private screening. August 2nd, 5 to 10 p.m. How long is this fucking movie? A 5-hour screening? That's insane. Hey, let's go. I got that. 1 inch? 1 inch? I got that. Yeah, I agree. What? Excuse me. I want to vote. Said the sheriff is coming across as really dense, lacking critical thinking when presented with so much evidence. Unfortunately, yeah, I agree. And I mean, he is definitely somebody again highly respected in the sense that he does a good job of bringing attention to that which needs to be paid attention to, holding people accountable, but also not being a dick. So, but that doesn't mean that he's going to be an intellectual. So I think that's fair. Yep, about to slide in them DMs. Well, hey, I mean, if we get to 5K, if we just hit 4K. So once we hit 5K, that's like that's a little bit of a badge of honor. I think at 5K, I'm gonna shoot my shot. I'll get that 1 inch somewhere else. She ain't gonna matter about that when she matter about that. You know what I mean? Claudia says someone else beat me to a 5'5", huh? Got a better chance than you. I don't think so, girl. I got that. I challenge you to see who can bet Savannah Hernandez first. Elizabeth said, have to keep in mind he's from a different generation, which it probably wasn't as socially acceptable to be a conspiracy theorist. Very, 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 very good point. Very good point. Because if we think about what conspiracy theory meant in 2019, not even long in 2019, before they changed it to everything to do with COVID, that was absolutely true, that they didn't want you to think it was true, and they called you a conspiracy theorist. From 2019, what conspiracies were really out there? The moon landing, JFK, aliens, Bigfoot. What's the big one I'm missing? It was on the tip of my tongue, and then did I say the moon landing? But either way, those types of things. So this is a fantastic point. I definitely agree. And Lux9 said, "Go for it." I will. So you'd be likely around the women in my family because they wouldn't make you feel tall. They make everyone feel tall. Other than my Aunt Cindy and cousin Valerie, they're all 5', 5'3". That's right where we going. Exactly. Oh yeah, okay. I knew that was the one 9/11. Yeah. And even still, the legitimacy of questioning the official narrative with 9/11. Exactly to your point. I think that, if that's the only one that has any questionability, but no evidence to anything, then I do think it's reasonable if you're that age to just brush off the notion of a conspiracy in and of itself. That makes sense. Yeah, I mean, he's wrong. Like, this is a conspiracy that is proven, that is on record. But no, it doesn't exist. Like, okay, bro, whatever you say. I said, I have to think the Reagan screening includes a Q&A. No way, that movie is 5 hours. I mean, they said followed by a live podcast, so maybe it's the movie and the podcast is 5 to 10. But I don't know. I guess this would be what, behind their paywall, I assume. But eventually we gonna get it. You know what I mean?
3-hour podcast together.
Yeah, 3-hour podcast. So 5 to 10, 2-hour movie, 3-hour podcast.
Talking about this. But even as great as Ronald Reagan was liked by the opposition. Like, even, Gorbachev liked him. He was liked, okay? And he was loved, and he was feared by Iran, by others, and he was respected. He had the 4, right?
And Paulina Luna is pulling ahead by, it looks like, 1 vote. We are at 9 votes. Is somebody going to tie it up or give Anna the lead? Let's get that last vote in and see where we're at.
If you put Reagan with Trump, I don't know if Trump's likability scores as high because he's probably the greatest troller of all time. I don't know anybody that's a better troller and knowing how to get under people's skin like he does. That wasn't Reagan. Reagan didn't try to get under your skin. Trump's a different kind of a guy.
I mean, it's a very different political world.
So he is hated by the opposition more than Reagan was ever hated. Absolutely hated. So that causes one to sit there and say, there's many different ways for, you've seen in movies where it's like, look, take tonight off. The other day I had Jeffrey Epstein's brother call me, said he wants to be on a podcast. Great. We do a 2-hour podcast together. Doesn't show his face. He doesn't believe that his brother committed suicide. He believes he was killed. Why would you think he was killed? And it's kind of going through the whole process. Of course, it's your only brother. You want to know. I mean, this is like your guy that you have stories with.
So wait, I need to say the Democrats did like the Queen, the point that Reagan was an idiot who's going to, try, can you try that again? Oh, okay. They did like to say, okay, so Democrats did like to say that Reagan was an idiot who was going to nuke the Russians. And again, obviously I wasn't, alive for most of that, or certainly wasn't paying attention. Well, wait. What year did Bush Sr. get it? And that was 89, right? Anyway, I never experienced the Reagan America. But again, as I just alluded to before, the notion of the acceptable discourse of what was, I don't like that politician. If you were to throw the types of insults at Reagan in his day, then the people of that day would be like, hey, yo, whoa. I get that you don't like him, but he's our you know what I mean? There's still that air of we're all on the same team. And that Trump, well, actually not. I hesitate to put it on Trump, but it really was because of the reaction to Trump. So however you want to square that circle, it just blew that right apart. Funkmaster said, dude, I already told you Bigfoot is real and he plays a funky bass guitar. I'm going to need to see evidence of that. Believe nothing except that anything is possible. Okay, so yeah, I was never alive, and I knew 89 was either the last year of Reagan or the first year of Bush. But so yeah, I was born in 89, so wasn't even alive. Oh, Okay, but we got 11 people here now. So 10 votes. We are 50-50. Who's hotter, Lauren Boebert or Anna Paulina Lee? Whoever just popped in. Break that poll. Break that poll. The next vote wins. Next vote wins. Let's see it. Let's see it.
It's kind of going through the whole process. Of course, it's your only brother. You want to know. I mean, this is like your guy that you have stories with. When we sit there, you go through the stories. You're like, hey, you know what? Tonight, don't worry about doing too much accountability tonight. You guys should be fine tonight. Really? You know these types of stories. We've seen all these horror stories. What happens? The movie Lawless. I don't know if you've seen the movie Lawless with Tom Hardy.
No, I don't watch movies. I just do my job.
I don't know if you're a movie guy or not, but I want to transition away from this because I actually think you have a lot of other things that you can bring value to other people around the country that are worried with what's going on. Okay. So,
and the winner of the poll. Oh, my goodness. By one vote. Where is it? There we go. There is it. By one vote, 54% of you of 11 votes said Anna Paulina Luna. I mean, I'll break that tie. And now we're back in 50-50 because I vote Lauren Boebert. But I give it to you guys. All right. All right. Quality and Deference said, I was born in 88. We are about the same age, and I vote for Boebert. There we go. There we go. Boebert wins. Boebert wins. There you go. I knew I liked you. I knew I liked you. Anyville said the left is definitely amped up its rhetoric against Republican candidates. Almost a steady line from Reagan on. Then when it hit Trump, it skyrocketed. Yep. Bigfoot also drives a DeLorean, you know. Hey, look what we got. We got Dylan Soup in the building. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the party. Man of my own taste. Man of my own taste. I said shit. Me too. I love a girl in glasses. I love a girl in glasses. Listen, I'm sorry. I don't think you have a chance with Lauren. All right. Goddamn. Can a boy dream? Jesus. Jesus. You will say, yeah, Anna will give you a hand job. And well, no, that was Lauren. That was Lauren. That was Lauren that did that. But hey, either way, I'll take it. And I know Lauren Boebert is not that tall. I think I've looked it up before. I think she's like 5'6" or 5'7". I could take that. I could take that. Shout out to Brad C. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the party. Another vote for the glasses girl. I think this is signed, sealed, and delivered. Lauren Boebert is hotter than Anna Paulina Luna. Love it, love it, love it. All right, diving back in here.
Marty, I don't know if you're a movie guy or not, but I want to transition away from this because I actually think you have a lot of other things that you can bring value to other people around the country that are worried with what's going on. Okay, so Sheriff Judd, California, New York, squatter law. Somebody comes in.
Water's right. Okay, let's see what he's got to say about this.
Stays in a place. This is your rental. You're out of town. Now they're in the house. Even though this is your $2 million property, the law protects the squatter where the owner can't come and kick the people out and you're going to go to jail, right? One, what's your position with these weird squatter laws that they have in these different states? And two, how do you address it?
Sure. First and foremost, you know, Florida just changed their squatter laws, okay? There was also a civil procedure in Florida.
He specifically asked you about California, New York, and what did he say? Seattle and these other cities.
Get squatters off of your property. And many police agencies across the state were saying, hey, it's a civil problem, much like you saw in California and New York.
It says Governor DeSantis signs legislation to end the squatter scam in California as of March 27th this year. HB 621, which protects property rights, provides homeowners remedies against squatting and increases penalties on squatters. We are putting an end to the squatter scam in Florida, said DeSantis. While other states are siding with the squatters, we are protecting property owners and punishing criminals who looking to game the system.
But
Equality and Deference has to dip out. Thank you so much for hanging out. You have a good one. Even though you don't think I could get it, I could definitely get it. But you have a good night.
That's why our Florida legislature acted and gave a specific tool so you can move people out immediately. We never had that problem in Polk County because we would read the trespassing law, the burglary law, the vandalism law, And when we interact with a homeowner who said, I'm not in a business agreement with that guy, I didn't lease my house to that guy, I have never seen that guy, I didn't sign any of those documents,
but he has the rights. Yeah, one thing it's crazy that politicians in general look so much better near our near our after age much. It looks much better near or after near or after 40. Gotcha. Okay. These days, yeah, you look at them back in the 70s and 80s, and they all look closer to Biden. JD Vance barely looks over 30. I think this, you look back at just old pictures in general, and I think there is something about like if you're 30, mid early to mid 30s, then I don't know how. Like I think if you took a girl that you were attracted to, maybe not like, oh my god, she's hot, but like, okay, yeah, she's cute, and you put her in 90s clothes, like especially 90s mom clothes, and styled up her hair like that, and the pastel colors and the weird mom jeans, I wonder how much that would really affect how you look at that same exact person. Because I feel like there's a je ne sais quoi. I don't know. There's something about when you were a child and the style that you saw. Oh, that's what adults look like. And then as you got older, then all of your peers still were your peers, and styles change, but also it's kind of like I don't know. I find myself looking at women that were sexual icons or whatever, even from the 70s and earlier, and it's a very different thing than even a random hot girl. It's a different type of thing. So I wonder how much that plays into it, where it's the style. It looks like an old style. So, and then we see grainy pictures, and so our brain forces it to seem older to us. I don't know. That's a half-baked theory, but I think there's something to it. There's something to it. One folks say, they get millions for fucking America, and plastic surgery has advanced. That's true, but what did you say? That kind of makes sense, but it's even that way in the population too. Yeah, and I think the styles, that really does have an effect on how you see things. But shout out to JD Vance for looking young. Any Bone said the original Morticia Adams is still hot. Okay, boomer, whatever you say. But no, she is hot. Shout out to Laura Chowansky. Welcome to the party. Indeed, we are hanging out with Sheriff Grady Judd on PBD. He's just asking about squatters' rights. So let's see what he's got to say. Welcome.
I have never seen that guy. I didn't sign any of those documents. When he tells us that, and he will sign a sworn affidavit under oath, we lock that guy up that's broken into his house that was up for sale, and we lock him up immediately. Now, if the squatter is good, which most of them aren't, and they've dummied up paper and filed it with the clerk, it may take us a day or two to get all the paperwork together in order to arrest them. But
I think a big mistake when it comes to squatters is the initial contact with police. Because if you call the police in in San Francisco or something, and you say there's a squatter in my home, well, then you're now establishing that they've been there. Versus if you call and say, hey, somebody broke into my house, I feel like that could change a lot, and I have absolutely no evidence to that. But it seems like it makes sense, right?
99 out of 100 of them, we would take them to jail in handcuffs that afternoon when we were called to the house immediately, because it doesn't give you the authority to move into someone's house.
Oh my God! Indie film, necrophiliac! Yeah! He wants a fucking dead chick! Yeah! No, I think he's just saying that despite what her state of being, what she looked like at the time, was attractive. Yes, again, but even her, even Audrey Hepburn, yeah, if we look at images here, then like of course she is beautiful, but what am I trying to say here? Like, and so I think she would be more of the exception to the rule. But if you look at this style, then you're not really in the mindset of this is somebody who I'm looking at as a I don't know, but it's like you know that women don't dress like this. And again, I think she is the like you said, timeless. She just like perfect features and all that stuff. But if like you said earlier, you know, if you're just watching a music video, a Kiss music video, and yeah, they're all gonna look old because in your mind, if you wear those types of clothes, you're an adult. If you have that type of hairstyle, you're an adult. I think that's where you know where it comes from. But again, half-baked theory.
Because it doesn't give you the authority to move into someone's house, to break into someone's house, to change that house into your name, to move the electricity into your name. It doesn't give you the right. So we never had this problem that we have seen manifest in New York and California because we use criminal laws to get rid of those people immediately. But we're back to where we were in this last piece that we talked about on the shooting of Trump. It's incompetence, it's laziness.
Incompetence?
It's lawyer
incontinence? Well, are you telling me that cops are out here pooping themselves and pissing themselves?
On the shooting of Trump. It's incompetence, it's laziness, it's lawyers telling police chiefs don't get involved, make them go to the civil courts. Well, wait a minute, what about all these criminal laws here? So we've never had that. We didn't even have that problem before the Florida legislature changed.
We as in Florida.
We as in Florida. We as in Polk County. Some other places in Florida absolutely told them to go seek out the civil process. That's why Governor DeSantis, who's the greatest governor, that's why
we're here because of him. He did a phenomenal job. Yeah.
And the Florida
maybe the worst Republican presidential candidate in a long time, but a great governor.
Legislature changed that to give law enforcement more teeth.
So, okay. So as a sheriff, how many other sheriffs around the country are you in communication with as peers? Like you talk to them?
Sure.
Is that pretty common?
Yes. And I am the past president of the Major County Sheriffs of America.
I saw that.
So I communicate not as much now since I'm the past president, but I have communicated with sheriffs all over this nation.
On the opposing side of sheriffs who are dealing in a county where squatters have the protection more than the way we have in Florida, are these sheriffs that agree with the law, or are they saying, hey, man, this shit is out of control, this is ridiculous? And those who are agreeing with the law, because politically, you're going to have sheriffs on the left, the right, the center, even Fort Lauderdale, the sheriff here. I had lunch with him the other day. The chief of police here had lunch with him the other day at the house. Very interesting man to get to know him. What's the argument for people that think protecting squatters is a good law?
Here's what I found.
That's a great question. I really don't even understand what the position is. Why would it be okay for that to happen? Oh, they're unhoused and they have nowhere else to go. So if they found shelter, then how can you throw them out on the street? I really think like that seems to be as far as it makes sense.
And for people that think protecting squatters is a good law.
Here's what I've found in government. Police administrators that don't know how to be police administrators or are fearful of their job, they run to the lawyers. And the lawyer's basic concept is this: you can't get in trouble if you do nothing. So they hide behind the lawyers. Or the police chiefs work for a strong mayor or work for a city government. And the police chiefs are told, because they're not independent like sheriffs are. I'll talk about that in a second. They're told, hey, the city lawyer says, don't stick your neck out. We could get sued. So don't do it. Send them to civil court. Well, it's not sticking your neck out. It's enforcing the law. But people don't understand the difference in a police chief and a sheriff, an elected sheriff.
I just really quick. I wonder if this is going to do what I want it to do, but I'm still getting comments on the Gen X video 2 months ago. Like, guys, that was not the point of the video, to be like, oh, woe is me. I need you to do that. Like, so many people misunderstood that video, but 100,000 views. I ain't complaining. Dylan said the New York squatter situation pissed me off. Which one? Which one? Or the instance of there being so many goddamn squatters that they couldn't even keep count. Wonderful says squatters' rights, also known as adverse possession, originated in medieval England as a way to resolve disputes over land ownership. At that time, land records were often incomplete and property boundaries were unclear. So possession is 9/10 of the law, I suppose. Prove it's your house. I'm here, motherfucker. Makes sense, but now we got the internet. And before we had the internet, we had paper.
But people don't understand the difference in a police chief and a sheriff, an elected sheriff. A police chief is appointed by either a strong mayor or a city manager and reports to a mayor or a commission. So the city police chief is an employee of the government to enforce the rules. And he works for a hierarchy. And that's the same thing at the state level and the same thing at the national level.
We're about to get in some Jordan Peterson. Well, there's a hierarchy, okay?
I'm tracking.
The elected sheriff is appointed by the public to look out for the public's best interests. So the way I enforce the law is a whole lot different, because my first responsibility is not to the government. It's to the people. And when I have a statute that says they've broken in, they've changed the locks, I've got an owner that says, I own the property. I've never laid eyes on these folks. I've never been in a business relationship with them. I've never signed a contract. I've never had a verbal contract.
We get it. You don't know.
Guess who I'm going to go with? As soon as he signs under oath I'm locking those squatters up. That's the difference in the sheriff and a police chief that has to listen to a city manager who's the boss or a mayor who's the boss. And they listen to lawyers who say, oh, if you do something, we might get sued.
Right, sir. So doesn't that go towards the point we were making earlier? That just because you run a tight ship, that not every sheriff is going to be acting like you. And we know that there are issues with this. And you know, as you are in the middle of saying right at this moment, that this is an issue. But nope, everything is totally fine everywhere. If you got a badge, you're good. If you got if you're in office, if you're in authority, you're good. Yeah, it seems like all of them. But the one where it was an inherited house in Brooklyn, the squatters could barely answer simple questions on who rented it out to them, and the lady whose house it was went to jail. Yep, and because she changed the locks, right? She was like, "Fuck you, this is my house. I am changing the locks." And yeah, that's New York for you. That's New York City for you. I'm 169 said to any film. I was thinking of Caroline Jones from the TV series, who's very attractive indeed. All right. I am definitely always down to talk about hot ladies.
Listen to lawyers who say, oh, if you do something, we might get sued. So don't do anything. So the community suffers.
Loser.
It's so interesting you say that. Nothing's different in business, by the way. When you run a small business, maybe you can't afford to hire an HR person. When we were smaller, you hire ADP, and there's this program called the Total Source. Every time an employee or somebody did something to us that was absolutely, they were at fault. Common sense stuff that's at fault. Not even anything that's like gray area. We'd call them, hey, here's what we want to do. We want to make this, and we want to do this to them. Yeah, don't do that because they may sue you. Every single time, because part of us hiring them was the fact that they're going to offer their lawyers. You know how many times they allowed us to use the lawyers, even though we paid them $39,000 every year? This many times. Zero times, because they don't want you to use their lawyers because they're costing $400, $500, $600 an hour, if that's even the number. So I can see that that's applies in the public sector as well where you're at. But let's continue. 52 years last week you've been serving. You've seen a lot, right? A lot of different.
I've seen some things. and I've seen some shit. I've seen some things. I've seen some shit.
Good, bad, ugly. You've seen good testimonies, people changing. You've seen some ugly things. Give us if you don't mind, maybe a couple testimonies of horrific stories or experiences you've seen where to the average person, if they saw it, it would do a number on you. A story of a mother, stepson, taping his hands, throwing him in the swimming pool, drowns, all these other stories that I read about what you've gone through, right? If you don't mind sharing a couple of these stories, do these experiences almost make you be a little cold about it? Does it get you to be where if you go in there, you're too emotional, you're too this, you're too that, you're not?
Really quick. It's just funny that the sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. And that's why I need to comment on this, even though I don't like it. And I need to tell you my entire life story, but also I need to tell you that I don't care, but also I need to tell you that I'm mad at you. That's why we making fun of them.
Not able to lead your community as well. One of the stories too, how do you lead those situations?
Sure. First and foremost, it's your job to bring peace to chaos. That's what they've hired us for. And when everybody else is out of control, that's when you have to be in control. You have to be at your very worst. I mean, at your very best when things are the very worst. So when you call law enforcement, the police, the sheriff's deputies in, we have to be at our best when things are the very worst. When I think about the guy who went into the house and shot up everyone in the bathroom, killed an infant in the mother's arms. That's a horrible day. Killed the father. Stood over the girl and shot her down and thought she was dead. She played dead to keep from being killed. That's as bad as it gets. But the reality of it is the energy is to do what's right, to always do what's right, to see through these evil people. One of the things that is one of the top priorities in our agency is to go after child predators, sexual offenders, people who are online trying to groom our children and have sex with them.
Lock those motherfuckers up.
We set up stings. Chris Hansen comes down and joins us. If you remember back in the day.
I had him on. Yeah.
Chris is a good friend of mine. But the reality of it is it feeds my soul. It makes me feel good when my detectives, who are the very best, arrest child predators. So I make sure they have the training and the resources. We partner with other agencies that can't afford to do these investigations because every moment of every day, there are people out there trying to groom and seduce and sexually batter your children.
Now, if you just thought about trans stuff, that makes you transphobic because he didn't say nothing about that. But a bunch of you are thinking it. You're the transphobe. Not us. Not us. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say that out loud, but again, I don't trust the government enough to agree that you're not fixing those people. But again, what happens when somebody says you are one of these people? And the government believes I'm against the death penalty for that reason. Not because I think we can fix these people. Not because I think they don't deserve it, because I don't trust the government. And any one of you can be in a bad relationship and the girl says this, that, whatever. Nope. Elizabeth said he should just throw a house party and invite congressional members. He'd catch the top pedos in the country. Got him. Oh, almost dropped my mug, but dilly. There you go. Yep. And I always am, right? I always am. That's a joke.
To groom and seduce and sexually batter your children.
Haram!
And we've saved untold thousands of children from the hands of sexual predators since I've been the sheriff. And we've had to step up because social media put the child predator with the child predator with the children, because a child predator can walk boldly into your house while you're there and groom your 12 or 13 or 14-year-old curious child. So at the end of the day, I could, if I went down the list, I think about my deputies that have been shot and killed in the line of duty, The first time that a deputy was shot and killed in the line of duty, he was a kid that I went to high school with. I sat next to in the police academy. We went to Rollins College together, rode together. Our families, me, my wife, him, his wife, we were friends. And he shot down and killed by a worthless human being who was on methamphetamine and had already murdered 2 people that night, unbeknownst to the deputies that responded. So you see these events, and these events are real in your life. And I'll give you an example. If you've ever watched Blue Bloods and you see the family gathering at the end of the conflict. Now,
never seen Blue Bloods. What is Blue Bloods? Can somebody tell me what Blue Bloods is? I pretty sure I remember that it's just a cop show, but I mean, is it like just a show about cops, or is there something else to it?
Watch Blue Bloods, and you see the family gathering at the end of the conflict. Now, the stories are outrageous in the way that they're carried out, but they're real in the sense of the death and destruction we see in the community. But what keeps you going is knowing that you're making a positive difference, knowing that you're saving people's lives, knowing that crime is low. Crime in our county is at a 50-year low. You're twice as safe as you are any place else in the state of Florida.
Shout out to Polk County. But again, Sheriff, if that is the case, then you cannot project your own positive. You can project in negative ways and positive ways. You're projecting. I'm so good at this. I make sure that we train. I don't look at race and color and sex and all these. Okay, fine. Great. Does every other sheriff in the country think that way? Well, then what are we talking about?
Per capita. And that's remarkable because Florida's crime rate is low. So I wake up every morning, almost every morning, to be exact, almost every morning before the alarm goes off, excited to come to work. Because I know today we're going to save somebody's life. We're going to keep a sex predator from a child. Do you know, by the way, in 14 years, as large as our county is, the county is 818,000. So we're not a little bitty county.
Okay, but I was waiting for
We're
a
going
buck
to
there,
save
but
somebody's life.
He's excited to work.
We're going to keep a sex predator from a child.
And that's great. That's great. I am so happy that there are people with a badge in a position like sheriff that care that much, that legitimately wake up excited to go and do this work. But you act again as if because of that is your mentality, that everyone who has a badge feels that way. What about a cop of any level that is excited to go to work because they have power and they can fuck with people? We're just going to ignore that? That really weakens your own point when you can't address the fact that, okay, you're great, but not everybody else is. Gonfix said 50-year low crime for Florida. Well, Polk County, not all of Florida. Polk County. Florida man seems to be getting his shit together. I don't think so. Just not in Polk County. So Blue Bloods is a cop show about a family of police officers. Okay, thank you. Yeah. Makes sense that he'd be into that. What is that? CBS or ABC? I'm gonna say CBS. That sounds like a CBS show.
Somebody's life. We're going to keep a sex predator from a child. Do you know, by the way, in 14 years, as large as our county is, the county is 818,000. So we're not a little bitty county. In 14 years, we've had 2 unsolved murders. 2.
Wow.
In 14 years. And we know who did one of those. We just can't get any of the witnesses to testify.
Can you tell us about those 2 unsolved murders?
I can tell you that one of them is at a convenience store in a small community, and they went in to rob the store. Interestingly enough, we had explained to the people over and over and over, quit cashing checks, quit cashing checks, quit cashing checks. Well, guess what? It didn't take the robber long to figure out that, hey, if I go there on Friday evening early before they cash all the checks, there's a lot of money there.
Oh, yeah. And as much as cops will like writing speeding tickets, they like money too. Oh, we just arrested this drug dealer who had $3,000 in cash on him. Oh, my goodness. Someone said, Massachusetts? Massachusetts? I mean, it's Massachusetts, right? I'm gonna go with Massachusetts and pretend that if you think it's something different, that you're wrong. Massachusetts state troopers are shit and corrupt as hell. Never seen it, just know what it's about. Yeah, I mean, and just even in like local municipalities, like right around where I grew up, the town that I grew up in, don't go 1 mile over the speed limit. But you go in the next town over and you can rip it. And the cops are always in the same spot. So, okay, there's that's a cop spot. That's a cop spot. As long as I'm not slow down before you get there. And, if you pass somebody, then as long as you're not going to, but it's different. We're talking about what? Human beings. Human beings are going to be as unique as human beings.
Friday evening early before they cash all the checks, there's a lot of money there. And he successfully robbed and murdered the clerk. The other one is a gang retaliation shooting, and it's a bunch of gangbangers, and one group would not tell on the other. So, but that's
the code, man. We don't talk to no 5-0. And real quick, thank you to any of you who are in Discord welcoming our new members. That really, really, really goes a long way to foster the attitude of the community and make people feel comfortable. So very, very much appreciated. Goes around in circles, but this again shows when you have a worldview that needs a dogmatic belief that you will, no matter how intelligent you are, no matter how much common sense you have, you will create or you will engage in these mental gymnastics to make sure that your worldview fits. And the only way that his worldview fits is cops equals good. Government equals good. Got the state correct. I was thinking of the Karen Reed case. She was framed, no doubt, in my mind. There you go. There you go.
And one group would not tell on the other. So, but that's it.
So which is the one that you know who it is, but
the gangbanger,
the gangbanger shooting.
Yeah, we got him down to the group. But
is he still living there? Is he still in the community?
He and his buddies are still there.
Have you ever seen him?
We need to see that video. That is how we're going to start the after party. The Grady Judge rap video is how we are starting the after party. Guansec, so the cops in my area are seen to be getting a lot of when you say young guns, do you mean like the youngins, like young guns? I don't know if that's a phrase, but I'm going to assume you are talking about younger people. You can just feel the inexperience. The cops themselves are the young guns. Gotcha. You can feel the inexperience when they pull you over. It's honestly kind of worrying to see them be so by the book. Well, that's what happens when you create a mandate for something that a lot of people don't want to do. All the good cops get sent away, and all the people who are just there for a check or for power, that's who you're going to get. Hey, look who we got. Oh, my goodness. I may be the Indian Jesus, but Cody Brooks is our God Daddy. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the party. So I did a false confession once, not understanding their evidence against me was third party using a private detective. I spent $47,000 with that mistake. Restitution for a crime I witnessed. Oof. That's the government for you. That's the government for you. That's the law enforcement establishment for you. Yes, there are Grady's in there, but this is what you should expect. That's what you should expect. I'm sorry to hear that, man, but I am glad you are here. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the party. Cody signed up yesterday as the God God Daddy. So give him a thank you for being a huge, huge, huge supporter of this community. Thank you, sir.
Living there? Is he still in the
He's
community?
still in. He and his buddies are still there.
We're at 3:18. We're about to be 3:18. We're gonna run till 3.5 hours and find a good stopping spot because I gotta pee again.
Have you ever seen him? Have you ever seen him?
I haven't personally, but they're in and out of prison, and their philosophy is, "Hey, we'll take care of it on the street. We don't need you."
Like mobsters in New York.
That's
Like
exactly, yes,
got it.
Sure. But think about this: in 14 years,
Two of them only.
Only two.
And how many have you had? How many has happened in that 14 year?
Our murder rate is relatively low, so we've gone from a low of 4 to 20, 25, 30
a year. Okay.
But right now, I think last year we had. I'm doing this from memory, and I've got so much right now. I think we had like 12 last year.
You ever seen the movie Judge?
No, I don't watch a lot of movies.
It's very obvious. I noticed. You're missing out on a couple movies.
Yeah, and that speaks to the wisdom. Is that the right word? The wisdom in dealing with society when you're not tapped into pop culture. There is a disconnect from what people actually think and care about outside of the actual policy positions. It's I mean, make some time to figure out what are people on about. Any film said, sounds like the sheriff could use a little help from the Punisher. That'd be, I mean, maybe not him, but in other places, it seems like he's got his shit locked down. But in other places, you know, hell yeah, brother. I really, really, really do appreciate it. Shout out to Nick for being so welcoming. I really, really, really do appreciate that. I didn't even have to ask. You just did it. And I, again, very, very much appreciate you.
No, I don't watch a lot of movies.
It's very obvious. I noticed. You're missing out on a couple movies. There's a couple of these movies I think you're going to like.
I don't have time for fiction. I'm too busy in reality.
That's exactly what I would expect you to say. I mean, it's a small thing, but it's sad when people don't understand. You know, I mean, could you imagine a conversation between Grady and Jordan Peterson based on the value of story? I would pay for that.
You could be a comedian, but okay, fair enough. I respect it. I respect what you're saying. But in this movie, Judge, Robert Duvall had he plays the role of the judge. The son is Robert Downey Jr. This one's worth watching. It's worth your 2 hours. And in this movie, he lets go of a guy that he allows him to go free because it reminds him of his son that he wishes he would have let go free. And he kind of got his son to, that's why the resentment was there with the father and the son. And the guy that he lets go to go free comes back and kills an innocent person. And then when he gets out of jail, he's at the, like not a 7-Eleven, but a gas station where he's picking up eggs for his house. And the judge's wife had just died. And he says, "Hey, Judge, how you doing?" He says, "You know what I just did right now? I just went and pissed on the girl that he killed." And he says, "On the way back, I pissed on your wife's, what do you call it? Grave.
Oh,
And you see the egg drops in the scene. It's epic. And then, but because he's dealing with cancer, he doesn't know what's going on. So the video then shows that he goes, and the guy was there with a bike, comes back, takes him out, and kills him, right? And this is a resentment he held all these years to this criminal. 52 years of doing this. Have you ever come across one where you're like, I sincerely hate this guy for what he did?
What do you guys think he's gonna say? Let's make that a poll. Does Grady hate any criminals? Let's put it in that way. That's obviously that's what he's asking. I'm very curious as to what he would say, because it seems like he's, again, very straight and narrow, by the book. So it's like, no, this is my job. I don't hate them. That would be a self-own. Let's see.
Cross one where you're like, I sincerely hate this guy for what he did to this child or this mother or this wife or this innocent kid. Has anyone ever gotten your blood to boil like it did in this movie?
Everyone causes my blood to boil. Everyone, because there's a victim that should not be dead. But I hate the deed. Okay. As a God-fearing man, I can't carry the burden of hating people with me. Neither can any other law enforcement officer.
Got him. He said it makes his blood boil, but doesn't, because that was the specific question. Does he hate? Do you hate anybody? And then he added the blood boiling thing at the end. So he said, yes, it makes my blood boil, but I don't hate any of them. Hate the hate the sin and not the sinner. So Berner was on this side. Unwanted vote said, given everything, it feels like he wouldn't. He seems too emotionally detached. 100% agree. 100% agree. What do we got? We got 4 votes, and everybody got it wrong except for one.
Can't carry the burden of hating people with me. Neither can any other law enforcement officer if they're going to be career law enforcement.
Doubling down. All right, fair enough.
Burden you down so quickly that you couldn't do this job. So I choose to look for the good in a bad situation. And the good is when I can arrest that person and go to bed tonight knowing when they're convicted, they're going to spend the rest of their life in prison. If we don't get them the death penalty, they'll be there. In fact, I had a case just last week when my detective said, hey, there's a guy that's willing to plead to 30 years, 25 years minimum mandatory on a murder.
Damn.
He's 40 years old, 45 years old. He'll be an old man. The state won't take the plea if we don't think it's a good deal.
Mm-hmm.
Our state attorney's the very best. I looked him in the eye and I go, we're not taking a 30-year plea. We're not taking a 30-year plea. He's going to rot in prison because he committed a cold-blooded first-degree murder because this guy didn't pay for some drugs. We knew it in advance. We have the testimony that in advance of the murder, he bragged that he was going to go kill this guy. And I got the authority with the state attorney to take a 30-year plea.
Good point. I can arrest that person. I can get that person the help he needs to not do that act again, which I don't necessarily think would be even 100% appropriate for a cop's mindset. But what I think is a little bit more telling would be I can arrest that person, not I can make sure society is safer by one more or something along those lines. Focusing on society versus focusing on, well, you did this, so now you have to pay. And I after the or beyond the deterrent effect, I don't know how much I really want people to suffer. And yeah, I agreed. And Popcorn Stain does not have sympathy for the truly evil criminals. And but he just, this kind of like, that's not very Christian. That's not very Christian. I thought God was supposed to be the judge, not you. I said, I don't hate any of them. The gators in Polk County are just naturally fat. There you go.
I tell folks, I believe in parole for people who murder. The very day the dead person comes back to life, I believe in parole. But other than that, take him to trial, convict him of first-degree murder, and sentence him to life. Forget the 30 years. That does my soul good.
You have no sympathy for that man.
Zero.
Death penalty. How do you feel
okay,
about
this is because it's sympathy as to whether you're sitting in a jail cell for something you did. Totally understandable. Death penalty. This comes in differently, and I think he's going to be in favor. And because he doesn't, even us here with the level of distrust in the government and the establishment, some of you are in favor of the death penalty. So I think he's going to be like 100%. Get these people out of here.
Soul good.
You have no sympathy for that man.
Zero.
Death penalty. How do you feel about the death penalty?
Well, I like the death penalty. We should have, instead of an electric chair, we should have an electric bench. so we can put them all on the bench together and, you know, light them up all at once.
You're not
Jesus.
joking.
No, I'm not at all.
Tell me why.
Well, because the only people that get the death penalty are cold-blooded, first-degree murderers. They're vile.
Is that the case? Because as much as the Innocence Project can be on some bullshit, remember the way that Tulsi took Kamala out of the 2020 race was talking about how there was exculpatory evidence for people on death row. And Kamala Harris did what? Tried to ignore that evidence to keep those people in. So they deserve it. This is where you have too much trust in the government. You have too much trust in the government. Burr said if it's a younger kid who made a mistake, I think he would try to help them get on a better path. He's definitely pro-death penthouse. Spicy takes indeed. Indian spicy, some might say.
The death penalty are cold-blooded, first-degree murderers. They're vile. They're nasty. They're dangerous. And as a result, we need to give them a fair trial. We need to give them the appellate process because I believe in our criminal justice system. So once you've had your trial and once you've had your first appeal, your second appeal, heck, give them 3 appeals. Then we need to light them up or shoot the juice to them, whichever way the state wants it. But at that point in time, understand, this is not a couple of drunks that got in a fight and one shot.
Are you sure?
The other at a bar.
Are you sure?
Okay. Both of them were involved in an event.
Are
This
you
is
sure?
somebody who premeditated a murder of an innocent person who had every right to walk the face of the earth till they grew very old and died.
Are you sure? You're sure? You're sure? You're sure? You're sure? You're sure? You're sure? That's where it goes too far for me. Like, you are not sure. And this attitude, again, is not very fucking Christian. This is not what Jesus taught. That we here on earth should get our revenge. I thought God was the judge. Sad. Burns said he reminds me a lot of one of my high school teachers who taught criminal law. Yeah, there's a lot of this very, again, I appreciate the law and order. You know, we gotta, you know, we don't have any sympathy for the people who are doing things that are doing things they're not supposed to be doing, and specifically victimizing innocent people. I completely understand that. But I just do not have that level of trust in the government to say, let's kill them. I trust the government enough to determine who should be murdered. No, not going to happen. So, I mean, you know, it seems like we definitely have a good perspective on, you know, the fact that he is a good cop. He's a good sheriff. But we end there. I don't know that he is a political genius. I don't know that he's this, that, and that's okay. Not everybody has to be amazing at everything. If we can just get a good sheriff being a good sheriff, that is plenty. That is plenty. But if that's all it is, that's all it is. And I think that's all it is. Which, again, means a lot. But it's not everything. Burner Popcorn account. So this dude arrested and charged 2 underage teen girls for cyberbullying another girl who self-deleted. He publicly named and shamed them. Charges dropped later. I don't remember why. That's what I'm saying. Too much trust in the establishment. And did those underage teen girls deserve what you bestowed upon them? You can't go back. You can't go back. And so I'm with Blackstone. Better that 10 guilty men go free than 1 innocent man suffer. Extreme is right. Extreme is right. And that's you know, exactly. It has absolutely nothing to do with whether You know, and I mean, I'm willing to have the conversation of if we were sure that this person did exactly what they did and the premeditation, all of that, if we were sure about that all, what about then? That's a conversation I'm willing to have. And I'm not saying that I would never be okay with someone being put to death. Just the notion that that is on the table, just not across the board, but you know, that is on the table for specific things. I'm not comfortable with that. I'm not comfortable with that. And you know, like I think it was Glomtech who was saying it before. About a little sketchy that you're this into it. Who said it? I can't find it, but yeah, I don't know. I apologize. I forgot who said it, but you know, this level of power and this level of conviction is a little bit scary. Hey, look who we got at the last minute over on Rumble. Ruthless Admin. Welcome. Said, I'm 100% against the death penalty and 100% agree that it's not a Christian value and we should never put trust in the state or the government. Hope everyone is well tonight. Thank you for stopping by. We are about to head over to the after party. Come on through. So we'll end with this. Burner Popcorn account said, I will say this. I'd much rather live in Polk County than New York or San Francisco. He's not a perfect man, but at least there's accountability for criminals there. He's hardcore. Completely agree. I would much rather live under him than under a regime where the criminals have all the rights and the power. That doesn't mean we can't nitpick, but very, very interesting. I'm really glad that this was, you know, a different type of conversation, because I think it brought out some different stuff. And again, while we're kind of in this lull of like, there's a lot of big stories that are kind of like, they're out there, but we don't really have any new information. This was really, that was really cool. So thank you. So I can't stop burping. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, guys. And thank you so very much for getting Morty his peanut butter here. Both of us really appreciate it. All of these fucking awesome donations. And you know, again, guys, even if you can't afford to donate, that's totally fine. This is a free show, but there is a lot that you could do for me to help. That is absolutely free. Hitting the like button, sharing the video, commenting on videos, being part of the chat, all of that stuff really does a lot. And so if you don't have money, that's totally fine. And this is a free show. But if you want this, if you like this, if you want more of this, if you want this to keep going, I cannot do it by myself. We got people like Funkmaster General. We got people like Unwanted Foe. We got people like Nick coming in and welcoming people. We got people like M169 doing fact checks, and we got people all over doing their thing. Anything that you do to help this platform will, number one, be noticed, and number two, actually have meaningful impact on all of our lives. So I can't say enough. Thank you so very much, guys. And again, if you are a member, I want to vote, just drop the link to the Discord. Even if you're not a member, it's absolutely free to join. There's been a conversation going on right as we've been streaming. So join the server and let's do something bigger. Let's do something better. Let's do this. Thank you so very much again, guys. Once again, this is a little Morty boy, and I'm your host, Sledge, aka the Indian Jesus, here to resurrect the second coming of common sense. Until next time, guys, we are out of here. Peace.